I'm going to run through some of these baggage cards. Test 1 2, test 1 2. Did you all hear that? Just making sure that Discord works. Testing 1 2. Hey friends, how's it going? 5x5 Low Tech 420. Music is gross. Just a little jazz, a little chill, a little laid back sound for you friends. It's about Friday night, and just hopefully most of you have the weekend off, and maybe even the Monday. I know a lot of us have to work, but for those of you that are in the United States, 4th of July coming up here, right? All right, friends. Well, I will be back in about 6.5. It looks good to see you. Biohazard and Marion and Low Tech and Silva Killa. Mr. Martini, just saw you over in ASUS stream. How's it going, buddy? Seeing you live in Houston. It was great to see a lot of you, actually. Who else we got here? Buckle Bunny, how you doing, Buckle? Booyah! Sage, Texas, how's it going? Driving, but that's a good thing. Where are you driving to, Sage? Oh, you're driving for a living, right? Right, Sage? All right, friends. Well, I will be back with you shortly. Stay here. I've got some questions for all of you that went. I got some questions for those of you that didn't go, and we're gonna open up to all your questions as well. Be right back, friends. It's Orange Whip music. Hey Silva, maybe I can do my blues voice. Welcome to the Roadhouse, friends. Bring you the blues of Friday night. Simming with your friends. Friday night live stream. I don't know, can I do it? I don't know. Who all has their Orange Whip in hand? Of course, that can be anything, right? As long as it's a beverage. We don't play a lot of jazz. Every once in a while, we'll drop it in, but this is gonna be kind of a chill night. Willie Thornton, how you doing, my friend? Throwing out the Orange Whips there. Willie, thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's Silva Kill. I saw you up there throwing out the Orange Whips as well. Hi, Mr. Martini, having expo withdrawals. Me too, man. Me too. Silva Mother Killer. Mike Stellar Stalls, dog. Hey, y'all, SimFanatic Company. How you doing, Mike? Welcome. Good to see you. Evening, Tilted Racer. How's it going? How's it going, Tilted? Top of descent. Hello, Low Tech. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for joining the stream. One and all in all. I suppose we better get started, huh? All right. Well, friends, welcome. Oh, we got Allmeter. Hello, Allmeter. Good to see you. Thank you for joining tonight. Tilted Racer says, can't complain. And yourself, SimFanatic? I'm doing just hunky-dory, Tilted Racer. It's, I've got a whole week off. I mean, oh yeah. No, I got the whole week off, friends. So, you know, we got back from FSExpo, which we'll be talking about tonight, and we are leaving for Savannah. So, we've never been to Savannah. We're gonna spend a week in Savannah, Georgia. How many of you have been to Savannah? We're looking forward to it. Fan dabbly doozy. All right, friends. Well, let's get started. We're doing something a little different tonight. A little different format. We're not flying. So if any of you have come to fly with us tonight, by all means, you can fly and listen in, right? Maybe join one of the community flights channel in Discord. We've got that going. But we're going to jump into Discord voice here in a minute, and we're going to talk with one another. It's going to be kind of like a podcast. It'll be like not really a podcast, but we'll call it that. And so we're just going to be chill tonight, just chatting about what we loved about Flight Sim Expo. Well, I'll get into that in a minute. But it was a great time. So with that being said, friends, let's get into it. So there you see Delt Gam 88 right there. And, you know, it was actually, I think they had the most vendors. You know, I should have looked this up. I can't remember. Maybe one of you know how many total vendors there were at the Flight Sim Expo. But it was an absolute blast. Hello, friends. SimFanatic with you. Thank you for joining tonight. So, yeah, hey, I've got my Flight Sim Expo shirt on, right? So, know many of you were there, many of you with us tonight. And so, yeah, let's talk about what we're going to do tonight, friends. And I do appreciate, I see there's 21 of you. And first of all, Willie, thank you for joining. Tilted Racer. Meter jumping in here. Low Tech 420. Mike Stellard. Stalls Dog 1976. Thank you for joining. Silva Killer. Chris Evans, how you doing, Chris? Good to see you. Great to see you. In fact, Buckle Bunny, thank you for joining. I know you're busy today, but appreciate you joining as well. Little Miss Traveler. Let's see, Mr. Martini. We saw Mr. Martini. Mr. Martini, you were at the Flight Sim Expo. It's good to see you in person, and welcome to the show, my friend. Biohazard Juiced, good to see you. I think we're going to see TNT here a little bit later. We might even see a few others. I think people will just keep on joining. We're at 21 right now. Thank you, friends, for joining. It'll be chill night, but it's going to be a fun night nonetheless. We're going to have some good discussion. I'm going to hop into Discord voice here in just a minute. There's TNT with the STDs. TNT, how you doing? TNT, you were streaming American Truck Simulator. I know, I still haven't done it yet, have I? You'll remind me of that from time to time. Mr. Martini, these are my next render pedals right there. Oh, hey, we have Brent. My brother Brent actually ordered those, and Brent will be talking about that, Mr. Martini. The Verpals, that was, we were at that booth right there. I was talking about that. You see him maneuvering that thing there, and that was the, what did they call that? They called it the clutch. He called it that, I think his name was Todd. Is it Todd? Yeah, it was Todd we were talking to there at that booth for Verpal, and we'll get into that as well. But friends, so again, happy late night Friday, Sim fans, and welcome to the Flight Sim Expo 2023 debrief. Great to see you. Hopefully you're all doing well. How can you not be on a Friday night? Oh, thank you. I meant to turn that off. And listen, I had that there. Thank you so much. Aviation Spotters in the background lurking. Aviation Spotter, thank you for that. See, that worked. Hey, what do you know? Every once in a while, SimFanatic can get something to work here. Oh, by the way, before we get started, I was over watching Oz Flight Simmer's flight, and he had his engine go out, and he landed it. So it's not just me. So I had to give him a hard time, but he was right near the airport, so it wasn't as tricky a landing as like with us. When my torque went out, or I over torqued it and the engine went out, and I had to land near Innsbruck. But it was kind of fun to watch him do that. So Oz Flight Simmer might be joining us later. I'm not sure yet. I was kind of hoping maybe Q8 would drop in, but we'll have to see. We have a couple developers in here tonight. Aviation 108, how are you doing? Thank you for joining the live stream. We're going to be talking about the 2023 Flight Sim Expo. So tonight we're going to be doing, like I said, a little bit different of a live stream here on YouTube, and make this more a podcast discussion together for those of us that were physically at the event and those that joined virtually, or if those of you that didn't join at all, you're just kind of like, I saw articles, what was it about? And this will give an opportunity for you to ask questions. I'll be watching chat, and if you want to join in Discord voice, check out the description below. There's a link to our Discord server. You'll have to join, but definitely appreciate all you being here. Hopefully quite a few of you I already see are in here that joined in there, and we had the blue shirts, didn't we, Silva? We had the biggest presence. That's what a couple vendors said. People said, like, who are these people? Who's this SimFanatic family? So, but it was a great event. If you've never been to Flight Sim Expo, this is a great place to be, because we're going to talk about it. We will be back there next year, possibly having a booth, with Q8. But we'll get into that in a little bit. I know some of you know Q8 Pilot, some of you don't. If you don't, check his channel out. If you hit asterisk Q8 in chat, why don't somebody do that? It'll take you to Q8's site. He gave my son a TCA Boeing yoke while we were there. Alexander, how you doing? Alexander, it's good to see you, my friend. We're already at 20 likes. 21. Hey, I got a question before we get more into this. Do I actually have to do the SimFanatic Shuffle, or can I just chill tonight, friends? What do you think? If we hit 30, do I have to do the SimFanatic? Would it be kind of out of character just because we're kind of chilling? I don't know. I'm going to leave it up to you all. Hello, Tech420 says chill. Depends on who's here. And Willie's just dance. And TNT says just chill. LOL. Awesome. What is the SimFanatic Shuffle? Oh, awe meter. Well, we might have to show you. We'll see. So I will have the pleasure of facilitating this live stream, this podcast. I'll call it a podcast. I don't really call it a podcast. I don't know. But we'll call it that. And I'll be engaging those of you in voice as well as those in chat, like I'm already doing. And Alan Cleveland, how you doing, Alan? Says you don't ever have to do it. Willie said I would not be a SimFanatic live stream without the dance. That's true. Gosh, I'm like, see, this is what I love about all of you. You're all just, you're all good folks. All right, so where was I at? Oh, yeah, so I'm going to be facilitating this live stream tonight. And during this live stream, we'll be discussing the Flight Sim Expo event, which I already said, and what we like best, what we feel was some of the most exciting news, meeting with vendors and developers and discussing some of the products we looked at. We'll also be talking about, our group took a trip to the Houston Space Center Museum. That was pretty cool. And the community is actually what was the best thing about that. In my humble opinion, it was all of you being able to see some of you that were here or that are here like every week, and being able to like actually physically see you and meet you. You're all great people. That was my favorite part. I'm already going to give away one of my questions. That was actually one of my favorite things. But we're going to be talking about the overall experience as well, friends. So for this discussion, we'll be in Discord voice. So again, be sure to check out the description below, which has a link to the Discord voice channel. If you want to join, don't feel like you have to. I'll be watching all of you chatting in here. And I know Aviation Spotter's already dinged me, so he's going to be watching as well. Thank you, Aviation Spotter and Bunny and Silver Killer, for coming and moderating. I'm going to need your help tonight. But do appreciate it. I'll try to make sure I keep up with all of you. The much appreciated SimFanatic Shuffle. Evil Azar, how you doing? Thanks for joining the live stream. Ricky's World, Pilot Rick, how you doing? Ricky's World, Pilot Rick, gotta meet you live. Gotta meet you in person, and boy, are you a joy. All of you are a joy. It's so good. And big relationships and friendships, that's what it's all about. That's what this channel's about. This is what I wanted to do from the beginning, is make it about the community, as many others YouTube influencers do, but I really wanted to make it something about all of us contributing in here, and we did that. All right, so I encourage any of you that would like to join us in voice, again, feel free to do so, or just sit back, watch it. And so with that, friends, I'm going to hop into Discord voice, and let's get started. Should I leave my camera on, or should I take it off? I can take my webcam off if you all want. I should do a poll. Get rid of your mug, SimFanatic. We got to watch you every time you're on the live stream, but... all right, Buckle Bunny, thank you again for joining. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Have a great trip, and do appreciate you coming in. And I'm gonna jump on with that. You have a great night too, Bunny. Thank you so much for your support and being here, even to say hi. All right, let's turn down the music. Is that music too loud? Not too loud, is it? All right, friends, we'll just kind of drop that down here. Actually, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just play some. Let's just play some of that jazz, because it's kind of soft anyway, right? Let's play some jazz. Get this going. It's in the background. All right. All right, with that being said, let's see who's over in Discord voice. 27 of you already in here. Thank you so much. Here, this is to you, friends. 27 already watching. Wow. That's awesome. All right, so let's see who all is in... See here. There we go. All right. So in Discord voice, I'm going to call y'all out. Why is some of them showing and some of them aren't? I disabled the stream. Anyway, we got Chipper Sneeze. Why is that? Okay, and I got Aviation Spotter, Silver Killer, Pilot Rick, Old Golfer 67. We got Justin from Fast Cow Productions, and actually Justin presented. I think, Justin, you were the second one that presented during the FSExpo, talking about the helicopter you're working on, and so I'll let you talk about that a little bit if you want to. Chris Evans in here. Don, good to see you, Don. Old Golfer 67, you were there as well, and so for some reason, you know, I don't know how many of you actually have... Discord, when it detects that you're live streaming, it actually does this protection thing, and now I can see like half your names and half of them I can't. I disabled it, but we'll see if that resolves itself. But anyway, I'm gonna jump in and say hello to all of you, and here we go. Hello, friends. How's it going?
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey there, Sam.
How's it going?
Hello, SimFans.
Hello, Silva. Hey. Hello, BA Fish and Pilot Rick, Old Golfer, Justin, Don, Chris Evans, Chipper Sneeze, Big Steve 63. Thanks for joining us. T, how you doing? Did I miss anyone? Aviation Spider, how you doing? I might have missed Aviation Spider. How y'all doing?
Imagine someone hiding your gambling problems. How?
Doing fantastic.
Awesome.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy. Well, you all ready to engage and answer some questions for those that are out there, and then those that are in here in Discord voice, and about Flight Sim Expo. I'm gonna start off with, what an amazing event! Wouldn't you agree, friends?
Absolutely. Definitely over the top.
Positive.
Yeah, I don't know what you all expected. Again, I think somebody correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think FSExpo started in the year of 2018. And when that started, I was, obviously I wasn't doing this. I wasn't live streaming. I wasn't YouTube content provider or anything like that. It was years before that, but I was like, I really want to go to FSExpo. And I actually was looking at getting tickets for it, and even got the WAF. Anybody know what the WAF is? Let me ask that. Anybody out there know what the WAF is? Anyone?
I'll pass answering that question.
Well, WAF is the wife approval factor. So I almost had the wife approval factor, and I was like ready to get tickets. I think that first time was it in Vegas? Can't remember if it was in either San Diego or Las Vegas, but anybody know?
Vegas was only a couple of years ago.
It was only a couple of years ago. Okay, it might have been San Diego, but I can't remember. But I remember talking to my wife, and I'm like, I really want to go to this, and she knows I've been, a sim pilot for ages, and so, but it didn't work out, and then then the next year it didn't work out, and then COVID hit, and here we are. But finally made it there. I know, was there? Okay, let me ask this question: anyone in here, either in chat or in voice? I know many of you said it was your first time. It was my first time going. Anyone, was it your second time or third time or more going? Or is it first time for everyone?
First time for me.
First time for me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quiet.
Wow.
I have yet to pop my cherry.
You pop a cherry this too.
Well, I guess it's the first time there's always a first time for everything, right? So it sounds like it's the first time for most of us, so that's pretty cool. And hey, Asus down, how's it going? Welcome, Asus. I see Asus has popped in here. So yeah, it sounds like it was the first time for most of us, if not all of us. I know, talking to, and we'll get into this in a bit, but talking to Q8 Pilot, it was his first time. I thought he had been there before. I know Captain Canada had been there a few times, and Oz Flight Simmer, I don't think he's been there. He wants to go. He's actually talked about going next year. He saw us all having such a good time, and so he mentioned, he's going to try to make it, hopefully one of these years. You can see Brent in the video there. Brent's behind me with the hat. You got Del Gam 88 over to my left, but our right there. So it's, again, great to see everybody. We're over at the Virpil booth there, and that, first of all, that rudder pedals. Now, Brent, you picked those rudder pedals up, correct?
Yes, I did, and I probably made a mistake, because when you asked about the weight the other night in the stream, I said they were just over 9 pounds. But ASUS came back and said they're 15.9 pounds. And I think when I looked at my receipt, the shipping weight was probably in kilograms, because they are being shipped from overseas. So my mistake. So they're a little heavier than I thought they were. But
yeah, well, but
but the machining on them is beautiful.
Yeah, we saw that a little bit in that. So again, friends that have joined us, and we're up to 29. So thank you so much for joining. But we were live streaming this. I was using my phone, and let me tell you what I had at this event. See, I came completely prepared. Not. I had I just said not. What was that, from 1990 something? Anyway, so we go there, and I've got a battery pack, and is Delt on here? I don't see Delt yet.
I was running late, Sim. So he said he'd try to meet into this, but he had a lacrosse thing that he was doing in the East Coast somewhere. Was delayed. So
gotcha. Well, so but in any case, Silver, you took my phone. It's Samsung. I've got the latest and greatest technology. I see all these people around there. It's like they have the cheesiest equipment ever. And I've got my Samsung S9 Plus. No, So next year I'm going to come more prepared. Have the gimbal, the what is it, like a little, I don't know what you call it, like a holder, or but I'll bring one of those. I'll have my SLR. I'll plan on having my SLR camera. I have an SLR Canon, and I'll actually be mic'd up. I'll have a microphone, and then I'll have a microphone too when I'm interviewing or when I'm talking to some of the vendors and stuff, because it was a little bit hard to pick up. But I actually had a few of you that mentioned that you liked the raw footage. It felt like you were there. I know Oz Flight Simmer said that, and a few others said it. But it really sucked when you couldn't really hear. Like I don't know if you could always hear. Right now, obviously, I've got the video muted, but couldn't hear really Todd what he was saying, and sometimes it was kind of, some of them were like loud like me, and like for me, I don't even think I need a mic. I don't even think that I would need a mic even for those of you that were like watching live stream from like say Florida to Houston. You could probably hear my voice because my voice projects, but in any case, I'll have better equipment next year for sure. But let's go ahead and get into it. I've got a few questions for you all that are here. And so my first question, for those we'll start off with those of you that are in voice, and then we'll move over to those of you in chat. And Mr. Martini, someone stole the pedals. Yeah, camera stick. Thank you, Don. Camera stick. That's what I was looking for. And Gowan, welcome to the live stream. So my first question for those of you in Discord voice here that went there. So like first of all, let me call out who's in Discord voice once again that was there. So BA Fish, you were there. Chipper, Marion Harris, you were there, and so I know that. No, you weren't there. You weren't there. Oh, I thought you were there.
You keep saying he's there. I saw that in the thing, and I asked people if he was or not, and they said they didn't know him. So I thought, or didn't see him. So I thought maybe you saw him and you kept him private or something there, Sim.
No, I must have mixed him up with Mr. Martini.
He was there in heart.
He was there in heart.
Yeah.
In spirit, exactly. Justin, you were there and presented. And Old Golfer 67, of course, you were there. Pilot Rick was there. Silver Killer, of course, you were there. And the rest of you were there in spirit. But for those of you that were there, so I'm going to start with you, Brent. So if you would just, first of all, give us a brief summary of what got you into flight simming and what brought you to Flight Sim Expo.
Well, what got me into it is, of course, we used to fly FS95, and there's many more people on here that have tremendous more experience than I do in flight simming. You got me into flight simming again when you told me you had this channel, and I'm glad you did, because it's been a lot of fun. Great people. Everybody we saw at Flight Sim Expo, for the most part, were very friendly. And and the reason I went to the conference is because I kind of forced you to go, so I kind of felt I had to go too. But, I was looking forward to it. I had the pleasure of meeting Silver and Mrs. Killa out in Tucson last February, March timeframe. So it's like I knew they were going to be there, and all the people I've talked to on the Discord and in the live chats, everybody's been great. I just wanted to go out there for just for the family, basically, and I was really blown away. I really enjoyed it more than I expected to. Not just people we went with, but just seeing all the stuff, and of course I found a couple new components I needed to buy.
And you should talk about one of them, the Low Tech 420. I know Low Tech is in here, and of course saw us right there at the Virpil booth there. And so Low Tech had reached out to me. He's like, "Hey Sim, I got this base in flight stick I'd like to sell. Let me know if you know of anyone that wants it." I'm like, dude, just put it in the Discord server, and we're actually talking about creating a channel, things to sell or something like that. I'm like, throw it on there, and then Low Tech 420 threw it out there, and you picked it right up, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, he had a good price on it. It was, I really wasn't looking for a stick, but I like flying the little micro jets in the general aviation. And kind of considering setting up just a dedicated all aluminum cockpit and front fuselage for my simulator. those. And of course, we've talked about actually making a G machine where when you're flying, it's all enclosed and you actually feel the G forces. So that's kind of a project that's a couple years down the road, probably, but we'll get there. I've done some preliminary calculations, and I think I can almost fit it in my bedroom if I move my bed out of it.
Yeah, well, that'll be entertaining. That'd be good to see. But no, thank you, Brent. Appreciate that. I'm going to move on to let's see. Let's go to Justin. You're the next one on my list, and now I guess I don't have to ask you what brought you to Flight Sim Expo because you presented. But Justin, if you are okay with talking a little bit about like what your experience has been, what got you into flight simming, and what you did that presentation, the helicopter. Maybe do a little plug on that if you would, if you're there.
I'm here. All right. Well, let's see. We'll start with what got me into flight simming. Well, that started off when I was a kid. Truth be told, just I loved aircraft and so on. So then in high school, I had the plan of joining the Air Force and attempting to be a pilot. Well, that didn't go so well. Ended up in the Army, and that's a whole nother ball game. So we'll move past that. So then, next best thing was flight sim as like 95, 98, and so on and so forth. And then, like in the presentation, started working with American Truck Simulator. That's when I started learning how to 3D model and so on and so forth. And that's when I had the bright idea. You know what? I like flight sim. Why don't I do something for Flight Simulator? Really didn't think it would be that complicated. And here I am a year in with umpteen billion projects that's not done yet. Now the one project that we are currently working on, and that's what I presented, and that's what I've also sent you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's going to be one of my questions to see maybe what be your thoughts on this little helicopter. Yeah. But during the presentation, there was a lot that I really didn't get to say just because nerves really kind of bit me.
Well, that's a big group. It's the biggest yet, right? I mean, you're like right there in front of the spotlight, in front of all those people. And you had somebody that was supposed to be joining you to co-present, right?
Yeah, I was. My programmer was supposed to come up there, but it was a little too big of a crowd for him as well. Oh. So I was kind of by myself.
You did just fine.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the helicopter. We picked up a contract. It all started off with we emailed them ahead of time before we even started the project just to see if we could work out a co-agreement or something along them lines. Well, we never did hear anything back. Well, I was just like, well, you know what, we'll just roll with it and we'll see what happens. Well, I sent it to Godwin and let him do just kind of a live stream with it, just to kind of play around with it. Well, it wasn't maybe a day or so later I had a email, and it was the CEO of Sakari. So of course my thought is, yep, here is the cease and desist letter. I was like, well, this is over. And actually he is a very cool guy. He was like, I really do see the advantages of actually having this, our aircraft in, Flight Simulator to expand. Mm-hmm. So, of course, we did a Google Meet, and I, presented him what I had at that time. Now it's nothing like what it is now. Mm-hmm. And he jumped all over it. I did try to get him to come to the expo because he is looking, trying to expand and so on and so forth. But it was just so last minute, we got the grand opening for Sakari coming into the USA, just this June, so it was the grand opening for it. So he was quite busy. So he wasn't able to make it this year, but we are planning for next year to, be face to face. To hopefully he'll help me present, and I won't be so alone.
No, you did great. And, I know that was, the nerves thing, that's always something, it's just like, you get in front of a big crowd and not everybody can do that. And so, being put up in the forefront by yourself without your programmer, that's certainly something that's a challenge, but you did well. And I think it's pretty sweet. I actually, you'd asked Justin about the helicopter, and I actually I did test it once, and seems to be pretty sweet. I need to put more time into it, and I'll tell you what, might have to do a live stream. We did a helicopter flight, one live stream a while ago. Remember, some of you, like Silver Killer and the rest of you, we jumped in and we were flying from Meigs Field, I think, and we flew in Chicago. And so maybe we'll Justin, maybe we'll do another helicopter flight and can highlight that during a live stream. But do appreciate you being here, talking about that. Did you see that when we're at the Virpil? Did you see that cyclic right there? It looked pretty sweet.
Yes, I want one so bad that my wallet is telling me no.
I don't even know what the price point of that thing is. I don't know. Does anybody know that? I see people in chatter here. TNT, that's when MSFS updated with the helis. Yeah, that's right, TNT. We did that then. Something I heard, Justin, and I can't remember who said this, but like the mappings for, how you can rotate the cyclic for the different modes, and so apparently that works for X-Plane, but doesn't yet work for Microsoft Flight Simulator. They might have to do some development to get that to map correctly, but I don't know if you've heard anything about that or not, but that's just, I heard somebody say that. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's just what I heard.
It's true for basic controls. Now, you can always go in and customize controls for users, because Sakari, it's me, Sakari, V-Sky for X-Plane, and Pro Flight, Pro Flight controls something. I may be saying his name wrong.
Sure.
We are all three joining in to make, the Sakaris for both simulators.
Oh, nice.
And so I've been in contact with, with ProFlight to work to make sure that we have all capabilities to have, every control in the aircraft as, you actually would in the aircraft. So it's going to be a long road. There's still a lot of features that are still going to be implemented. As you probably noticed, the tablet isn't working yet. EMU should be finished up in a week. And then we are actually going to redo the GPS because the area map in the simulator is not right.
Sure. And, yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off there, Justin.
Oh, no, you're good.
No, but I was going to say, I might wait to do a live stream with it because I know you sent it in beta, so I want to make sure I make that clear to everyone out there that there is a beta version. I do, again, appreciate it. But yeah, definitely looking forward to it. It's great that we have a developer here. I know we've got Hangar Studios is here, and I know you, Justin, him had at least engage one another, and so we have a couple developers here. But I got to do some shout outs here. Angel 15, thank you for joining the live stream. Good to see you. Frederick Ulysses Nash Sawyer Donegal says, "Hey, I'm just going to call you Frederick." It's a long name. I get tumbled up on that, but good to see you both in here. And then there's some pricing. Low Tech 420 said $219 US. Is that on the Cyclic? I don't know if that's on that, or Mr. Martini asked. So they're made in the U.S. and I think is that correct, Brent? I can't remember. It seems like I asked that, and yes, but they're from China. I think they get some parts probably from China. I can't remember for sure on that. Big Al's here. Big Al's. Thank you for joining. Big Al says the collective is $300. Okay, thank you, friends. I appreciate that. Y'all joining in here and getting us that information. But again, Justin, thank you so much. Again, friends, that's coming, and so we'll keep an eye on that. I did have Justin, you gave me the beta version, and the Sakari we look forward to. I look forward to actually flying it some more and checking it out, checking the flight model out, and you are licensed, right, and engaged, as you mentioned, and so more to come on that. So thank you, Justin. Next one we're going to move to here is I don't know, some people might have joined us here, but just going down the list here. Let's see. Let's go with Old Golfer 67. Old Golfer, what got you into flight simming? What brought you to Flight Sim Expo?
Well, I started flying in my teens, and then when we picked up the original Flight Sim, which was basically, if you were an artist, you drew a stick figure. That's what Flight Sim was all about back then. And just progressed along the way as Flight Sim Microsoft updated, I updated. And after joining your family, it just was a cool thing to do. Let's all meet up, face to face. And enjoyed every bit of it. It was great to finally put a face on everybody.
Yeah.
We see your face all the time.
Right.
It's not as scary as a third person. But no, it was great to meet everybody, hang out. Expo. Being in Houston, had an opportunity for me to, at the museum, they gave out rides. Well, they didn't give them out, but that was a thing. If I'm going there, I'm gonna do the ride. And I rode the T6 Texan, which was fabulous. But just hanging out with you guys and seeing what it's all about. I can't wait for next year.
Yeah.
Hopefully more people.
Yeah.
Was that Texan a kick in the pants when it applied full power, more so than what you would expect? Sorry to jump in and ask that, but I couldn't help myself.
No, not really. It was fairly smooth takeoff and landing. He doesn't use any runway taking off or landing. Matter of fact, there was a airplane on land. He was holding short for takeoff, and we had taxi to the far end of the runway to get off. So he was probably getting a little impatient with us while we puttered down the runway. But no, it was all cool. Yeah, it was. I can't wait to go back to Houston when they get their TBM Adventure online for passenger rides. So, but yeah, that's it for me.
Well, thank you, Old Golfer. And you know what? I think this is a record for those of you that have been in Discord voice. We've got 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19 of us. If I did the math, if I counted right, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. 17 of us. I think this is the most of it. Thank you all for joining in Discord voice. This is incredibly cool. And Old Golfer, I tell you what, that T6, that was incredibly cool. We were waiting. Oh, God. Could talk about the heat. The heat was insane. We'll talk about why Flight Sim Expo does it in hot places in a moment. But to see you in that, to see that T6, yeah, that looked amazing. And you said that was about a 45-minute flight from start to finish. Of course, you got to taxi out and take off, and then you flew over a restaurant that we actually traveled to that was really good food. I know, Brent, you weren't particularly happy with the $73 steak you got, but
lamb chop?
The lamb chop.
Whoops.
But my son, and I saw Frederick asked if that was my son in the orange shirt. Yes, Frederick, that was my boy. He actually it'll be on here a little later. You'll see Q8 Pilot gave him the TCA Boeing yoke, which is pretty sweet. And he said, "You want that?" And he's like, "Well, my son was being a little sheepish." He's like, "Yeah, my dad has one." I'm like, he's like, "Forget about your dad. Do you want one?" I go, "Tyler, he's asking if you want one of these." So that was pretty cool of him. But anyway, yeah, that's my son. You can see there, and I'm flying actually right now, doing the Verpals there, and that's IL2. Y'all like watching that was actually IL2, which I do have. Haven't played a lot. I know, Don, I think you play a little IL2, correct?
Yes, I used to play it all the time.
Yeah.
I have had about a 2-year break, and I need to get back to it.
And Big Al says, cool. See your son there. Sim of future of flight sim. Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, Evan, that I think he's the one that started it or co-started this, and he was up front. He actually did a call out because he's seen some of the kids there. And I know, Justin, you had your kids and family there. And there was got a question on during the live stream on Wednesday night, like, were there a lot of young people? Young at heart, let's put it that way, right? But Old Golfer 67, thank you for that. I'm going to go over now to Pilot Rick. So Rick, got to see you for the first time in person. Great to see you. Tell us a little bit about what got you into simming, if you would, and what brought you to the SimExpo.
Well, when I first started, it was through a program in my middle school. It was TSA, Technology Student Association, and they had a flight sim. I think it was Microsoft Flight Sim 95, and it's kind of been, the rest was history. Once I got to play with the stick and fly that, I think it was like a Cessna or something in there. The rest was history, and I've been flying ever since. I've had just about every flight sim I could think of since then, and then I always wanted to go to the expo even before FSA took it over. There was one in, I think, Cosford, maybe it was like in the UK back in the day, and I always wanted to just be able to go to an expo. So what really motivated me to go even more was meeting with you guys, and seeing, being on the Discord and getting to put the voices with the faces at the expo was really awesome. Getting a chance to meet a lot of you.
Yeah, definitely. And I couldn't agree more with that. That was incredibly fun, and to see everybody. And and Pilot Rick, I know you're part of the hangover skit that I couldn't wait to put together, and I just laugh every time at the very end with Brent and you right at the end. That was just so funny. We'll probably show that here after a bit for those that may not have seen it, but thank you, Pilot Rick, and appreciate you offering that up. And I don't know Praxis, I know you're in here, but I don't know if you were at the Flight Sim Expo. Please let me know if you were. Silva Killa, I'm going to go to you next.
Let me break in for a second.
Yeah, Brent.
I think you owe Pilot Rick a public apology.
Okay.
For?
Well, we came up to your
no. Time out.
You locked our asses out of the door.
Oh yeah. No, I was tired. I was asleep. My son was fast asleep, and I already apologized to him during the Flight Sim Expo.
Yeah, Sim. Yeah, we had a couple orange whips ready for you.
It was probably good, right, Rick? That I was actually yeah. No, good stuff. Thanks, guys. But yeah, Silva Killa. Silva, how? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What got you into simming, and then what brought you to Flight Sim Expo? I think I have a pretty good idea, but we're going to ask it for the community because that's why we're here.
All right. First of all, I'd like to know who let the Sims out.
Yes. We'll show that later.
Just like most of us, I mean, I just like Pilot Rick. I started with 95, Microsoft Flight Simulator 95, and same thing. From that point on, it was over. I mean, I was hooked. I didn't have any type of setup. I just had a flight stick. I was playing out of a laptop, I think, or something like that, and it was very, very simple. And I had basically every simulator right after that. I never did anything multiplayer-wise. Just basically flew by myself.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I did not know what the hell was missing. Not flying with you guys back then.
Yeah.
So, and then I started doing some real-world flying, and the whole thing came to an end. And then Flight Simulator 2020 showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And well, that's when I basically asked my wife in a nice way, I need to buy a new computer, and I need to buy a monitor. Well, now I have 4. But the thing is I never had a setup, and this is the first time I actually have an actual setup for a flight simulator.
Oh, nice.
Right. Yeah. Never bought even a yoke. It's my first yoke. I never had a. So this is for me is new. I cannot tell you how much I learned from all of you. Which this is going to lead to the next question you asked me. You know, if I like the expo and all that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And I had to be. I mean, if you really want the truth and nothing but the truth.
Nothing but the truth. You can't handle the truth, right?
If you can handle the truth, okay. Don't listen to the next thing. Okay, I did not go to the FSExpo for the FSExpo. I went because of you guys.
Cool.
This community has grown tremendously since you started, Sim, and my wife can vouch for that. I went to meet you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are my friends, my family, and honestly, I never expected to be this way. And you guys blew not just me, but my wife away.
Oh, wow.
You guys treat her with respect.
Oh, for sure.
She wants to go back the next
great.
year. And wow, what a tremendous time we had. Friendship, family, dinners together, orange whips together. Wow, it's over the top. So flight simming. I'm sorry, the Flight Sim Expo. The one thing I did wanted to try was the pedals, of course, TPR, and maybe some of the flight sticks. But other than that, what really made it was all of you guys. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, all of you, and thank you for making it such a great experience.
Well, and Silver, once again, you know, and I want to thank you for that. And I had a feeling that's what you were going to say because you are such a good guy. I mean, that's the thing. It's like all of you are top notch. You're just as nice in person as you are on in Discord with all of us and with me and with the others. And like I said, like when I started this channel back in 2021, I never knew it would grow into something this beautiful and about community. It just ended up just, you know, I kind of had a bit of a vision there, but you all made it happen and helped me along the way, continue to help me on the way. One of the things I did do a call out. There's Mr. Martini, by the way, friends. There's Mr. Martini right back there with the honeycomb hat. And Brett paid $30 and a lot of us got free. I shouldn't rub that in, but that's Mr. Martini right there. But so good to finally get to meet you, Silver Killer. I know my parents live in Sun City West in Arizona, around the Phoenix area, and I know you're in that area. And so definitely next time we get down there, I know we wanted to connect, but it's definitely going to happen next time. But your wife, bless her soul, she was amazing. She actually, I could tell that she kind of had that mom mode that kicked in with my son when he was there, because she kind of, helped keep an eye on him with me, because I was always engaging. As you can see, I'm always engaging people. And so again, hats off to you, Silver Killer, and your wife. And Silver, you're the reason we had such a big presence that was displayed. I mean, all of you are the reason we had a big presence, because you came and we all joined together. But Silver Killer, you actually got these shirts. I'm wearing the red one. You didn't have enough sizes, didn't have enough there, but we had the blue shirts on, and there were like 9 or 10 of us with blue shirts on with the SimFanatic logo, and you had a contact and got that in this. Like we stood out, and you actually mentioned that you're like Sim, we need to have the same shirts and send me your logo, because then we can really stand out and people will notice. And that absolutely happened. It happened at our Microsoft. We're at the booth for the landing challenge, and you're all around. And the Microsoft guys, like, I could be here all day with your group. At Honeycomb, one of the representatives there said we had the biggest presence there because we did stand out because of that. So Silver, again, I know I mentioned that multiple times, but thank you for doing that for the team. Do appreciate it. And I tried to offer Silver Killer money for the shirts. He wouldn't take it. And a lot of you I tried to offer, tried to give you money, and you just wouldn't take it. And so it just goes to show, moderators or fans or what have you, it blows me away every time and how great this community is. And I know Oz Flight Simmer, Q8 Pilot, and others that I've talked to as well as influencers will all agree and say the same thing, that it's an amazing community. A lot of you have posted in chat multiple times about what a great community. Captain Fozzie, how you doing? Captain Fozzie saying, good day, everyone, with the orange whips. Yeah, thank you, Captain Fozzie. I know you come over from Oz Flight Simmer, mate. Appreciate you being here, Captain Fozzie. You are a moderator over there. Appreciate you being here with us tonight. Don C. Doing a call out to you as well. So, Silver, again, thank you. And we also, Proxius, did I pronounce that right?
Tim,
yeah.
can I add something?
Absolutely, Brent.
I would like to add something to Silver. If you look at all the groups that were there that did not have a booth, we dominated with those shirts.
Yeah.
By far.
Oh, yeah.
If you looked at the companies that were there...
There's Q8, by the way. Sorry, Brent. Didn't mean to interrupt, but that's Q8 Pilot right there. Go ahead, Brent.
Anyway, of all the companies that were there with booths, we came in third, probably. And we didn't have a booth. Microsoft beat us as far as presence, and indie builders beat us by presence. So... hats off to Silver for putting that together.
I agree. Let's do one of these for Silver Killer. So shout out and clap for Silver Killer. But yeah, thank you, Silver. And you know what? If it wasn't for Silver doing that, and it wasn't for everybody that spent money, it's not cheap. I know a lot of you wanted to come, and it's just like with airfare, travel, food, hotel, registration. It is an expensive trip. And so again, hats off to all of you that did show up, because without you being there wouldn't be bodies to put those shirts on the Silver Killer got for us. So shout out to all of you as well, and do appreciate it. And and then Brent, I should do a shout out for you, because we went to Pier 6, and I was going to mention this. Old Golfer 67, you flew that T6, and you mentioned that it went over Pier 6, which is actually a good seafood restaurant. I don't think I'd get a steak there. I'd get a hamburger. My son got a hamburger. It's actually the best hamburger I think I've ever had. He goes, Dad, this hamburger beats you. I'm sorry. But it was actually fantastic. And then Brent, you treated, and so there was a group, I think 10 of us, and you treated for dinner. I'm not don't expect that if you come next year, because we're going to try to get at least 20 of us next year at Flight Sim Expo, and maybe even get a booth next. There's Captain Canada, so I'm talking to Captain Canada there. That was a special treat to me, and some of you probably know who Captain Canada is, but got a chance to talk to Captain Canada, and actually Q8, and having all three of us together at one time was a pretty special deal and treat for me. I've definitely been influenced by Captain Canada and other influencers, but that was pretty cool to actually see him in person. I've been promoting his channel for years, and some of you have been on there and you've seen me on there. I don't make all of his streams, not even close, but I've been following him for a long time, so that was a pretty cool thing. So, but yeah, thank you, Silver Killer. But I saw earlier in the we have a Q8 Pilot, Captain Canada. There's Silver Killer on the right. So you got four of us right there with Mr. Silver Killer. But Proxius, you were there. You said in chat that you didn't actually have to travel too far.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I just live maybe just 60 miles north of Houston.
Oh, nice. Well, that's a hop, skip, and a jump, man, right?
Yeah, I was glad to see everyone come on down for our hot Houston summer.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh,
Very
my gosh.
hot.
Holy cow, that was hot, yes. Yeah, that was incredibly hot. But thank you for joining us. Am I pronouncing that right? I always want to make sure I'm pronouncing your names right, because I'm horrible with it.
Well, it's Proctus. Yeah,
Proctus.
It's something I came up way back when I was a kid.
All right.
Never changed it.
I'll have to remember that, Proctus. Well, thank you for joining us. I see Captain Howdy is on here. I heard next year's could be in Orlando or Las Vegas. That would be cool. Oh, let's hope. Oh, if it was in Vegas, because like I already mentioned this, so I'll show this later in the stream here tonight. But we did a kind of a parody with The Hangover, with Who Let the Dogs Out, and Britt does this hilarious thing that Zach did in the actor in the movie. Is his name Alan? I think his name is Alan in the movie, and it's pretty funny. But we'll show that later here in a bit. But here's my son talking to Q8, asking like, how do you get one of those TCA Boeing yokes, right? And I'm like, T, why he's asking. He's like right there. He's like, do you want it? Like, look at this. He's like, do you want that? right now. You can't hear the audio. And my son's being sheepish here, and he's like, "Oh, my dad has one at home." He's like, "Forget about your dad. Do you want that?" I'm like, T, why are you not like saying yes? He's a good kid though. It's like, but that was good. All right, so let's move on to some others that are in voice and in chat. Oh yeah, Big Al. Oh God, Vegas would never see you again, Sam. Isn't that the truth? That is almost the truth there. I've been to Vegas a few times. If we went to Vegas and we actually got to do Who Let the Dogs Out and do that parody of The Hangover and have like 20 of us in that, oh, that would be amazing. But either way, I mean, I'm good with either one of those. It'd be good to go to either one of those locations. Seattle would be cool too. Captain Fozzie. Yeah.
I think. Yeah, so I actually think we're going to go to San Diego. So I kind of overheard Evan, the main like FSA guy, talking to the main like Honeycomb guy, and I guess Honeycomb is in San Diego. So he's just like, hey, if you go here, I'll be like a huge sponsor, platinum sponsor, whatever.
Really?
Set up all your guys' stuff and whatnot. So I could bet money we're probably going to go to San Diego.
San Diego. Hey, I love San Diego. Actually, San Diego wouldn't be that hot either, right? Because you're right by the Pacific Ocean. I mean, it's a beautiful city, and it wouldn't be that bad. It'd be a lot cooler than Houston, I think. Practice. So, but no, that'd be cool. So there he goes. There's and I remember Del going, "Hey, shake Q8's hand." My wife's like watching. She's like, "Did you make T shake his hand?" I'm like, "Well, I know he said hi. I know he said thank you." I was just like. I was kind of like T. I was just kind of in shock that he just gave this away, but shows what a good guy he is, and pretty incredible.
Hey, Sim.
Yeah, Silva.
May I say something real quick?
Of course,
some of the SimFans.
This is our channel, man.
Some of the SimFans want to know is specifically a person that we met at the expo. His name is Almeter. He's the one. Well, he's done a lot of things. But,
Almeter, yes. Yes. In here.
And he's been asking me already a couple times, what is the SimFanatic shuffle? And I figure since we have 37 likes already,
I gotta do it.
Probably want to show him what that is.
Oh yeah, we got Almeter. You know what? I should have made that connection. And thank you, Silver Killer. Is he still here? I assume he's still here. Okay, and it was great to meet you, Almeter. So like behind the scenes of the Debrief, doing a lot of the profiles and stuff, and really good to see you. Okay, so we're gonna do it here, friends. So this is the SimFanatic Shuffle. If you have children that are around, you probably want to close their eyes because it gets all weird in here. The SimFanatic Shuffle. This is an orange whip. This is what we do. We do the orange whip. So if us flight simmers out there, it's not this. It's not this. It's this. How many of you seen Blues Brothers, right? You gotta know what Blues Brothers is, right? Orange whip. This is SimFanatic Shuffle. As I often say, deal with it, friends. It's just some of you want it, some of you don't. You just gotta live with it. There you go. There's the SimFanatic Shuffle, friends. Almeter, there you go, buddy. Now you know what it is. Now you can have nightmares. So we already got people going. We got Captain Fozzie saying, "Oh boy," there we have it. So I've got it out of the way, right? So that if we get to 40 likes, I'm already covered, right? Captain Fozzie at the orange whips. Oh, Meter, amazing. I know a lot of you like it, and some of you are like, "Oh my God, SimFanatic, what are you doing to yourself? You're just embarrassing yourself." But no, thank you for calling that out, Silver Killer, and Meter, very very nice. Actually, another developer. I didn't even think you would be here, buddy. And so we've got like 3 developers. You got Almeter on SimBrief and doing amazing things there, and young, talented individual. And I asked Almeter, I'm like, when we were there, I'm like, what do you ultimately want to do? Is this, and wants to be a pilot, of course, flying the commercial airlines, if I remember that right, Almeter? And you're going to make it happen, man. You know you're going to have it happen. So kudos to you, and thanks again for joining us. Yeah, Captain Fozzie does. Almeter's like, yep. So yeah, I have no doubt. And what do you want to fly? I can't remember. Did you say 7? I don't know. Can't remember. Airbus or 767? I thought it was a 767 or 777. I might be making stuff up as I usually do, Almeter. So just forgive me on that because there's just so much going on. I was like trying to pay. It's like, Sim, come over here. Sim, come over there. And actually, I want to say that like everybody that was with me It was actually A350. That's it. A350. I'm sorry. I was way off. Samsonite. That's it. If anyone gets that reference for that movie, but yeah, it was great seeing you. And we've got 3 developers here. Sweet. And speaking of developers, I'm gonna Hangar Studios 713 is here. Many of you know we did a live stream with him, and he's got the Cam Air 480. Hangar Studios, you weren't able to make it to Flight Sim Expo 2023. Would you maybe be able to make it to 2024? What do you say?
Yeah. My goal is to make it to Flight Sim Expo 2024.
Well, we're going to try to hold you to that, and it would have been great to see this year, but nonetheless, understand, but maybe you can make it next year. We're going to try to hit at least 20 of us making there and representing, and it was just, just so much fun. But yeah, you continue doing development and a little. Well, maybe nothing official yet, but oh boy, Richard Clark dropping the $20 dono. Richard Clark, thank you so much for that $20 dono. Says, I want one of those polo shirts, a size XXL for my boyish figure. Do you have any XXLs left? We talked about getting merch, and thank you, Richard Clark, for the $20 dono. Appreciate it, my friend. See, there's Silver Killer right there. He's got a bag probably with that XXL, but we'll try to make it happen, Richard Clark. And I know that Silver, we talked about maybe getting some more shirts and having some merch. But Richard Clark, thank you for the $20 dono. Appreciate that so much. And you know what? $20 gets you one of these. I'm gonna make it short this time, okay? Orange Whip action, little SimFanatic shuffle once again. We're gonna make this fast. Friends. And Richard Clark, thank you so much. Appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate it. And so there you all can see working the Charlie pedals. And you saw they slipped just a little bit there with Silver Killer running those. And I know many of you came here to find out, like, what did we think about the different hardware? And that's one of the things, like, of course, it costs a lot to go to the event, but one of the cool things is, as you can see, Silver Killer there trying out the Charlie pedals, is the fact that you get to go there, you get to try out some of this equipment. So if you're thinking about investing, quite a bit of money, that is the cool thing about going to this event, is you can try all this stuff out outside of just the main point of just meeting everyone. But we'll get into the Charlie pedals. A lot of them are like, Sim, come over here. Check out the Charlie pedals, because I hadn't tried them out yet, and I've been waiting to get them because I want to try them out, do a review, and then do a giveaway. As all of you know, I'm committed to that, by the way. And I did get a contact. I got a phone number. He got my phone number. Actually, I sent him the channel, and I've got a direct contact to Honeycomb right now. I've got his actual phone number, and so if any of you are having a difficult time getting through on Honeycomb support, let me know. I've got a contact right now with him, and I know some of you, like I had on my Bravo, I love the Bravo, as many of you know, but I actually had it's just kind of like these tiny wires. My reversers don't work anymore, so I use there's a detent that I use for the reversers, but I know some of you, because they're just, we'll get into Honeycomb in a minute. That's what we're watching, those Delta displays right there. You got the Alpha on the left and the Bravo throttle quadrant on the right there, but we'll talk about that in here in a bit. And I have some opinions and some thoughts about that. As much as I love Honeycomb, I have some thoughts, constructive criticism about it. But nonetheless, they're a great company, and as you all know. All right, so let's move on. Anyone in chat that isn't in Discord voice, I don't want to forget anyone here. Almeter says, "Yep, I had the same issue you did." Almeter, yeah. And so, yeah, if floor was dirty there. Oh, because of the slippage. Yeah, that could be. Anyone? Oh, God. What's happening? Oh, boy. Here we go again. Goes to 11. Oh, $50 total dropping. Goes to 11. Oh, thank you, friends. Do some... hey, can some of you give some... I'll do the same. Some orange whips. Thank you, Fozzie. Some orange whips and some blue skies to both Goes to 11... and Richard Clark, and thank you both for that, and most generous. Thank you for that, dropping that $50 dono. Thank you so much. Goes to 11. Okay, so we got to do it again. See, Maynard, look what happened. Look what you started, dude. Now it's gonna happen all night. don't know where this came from. I just started doing it one night when I had too many orange whips, and hence this thing. You know, an orange whip doesn't necessarily mean it's got to be, you know, something you get at the bar. Just what I had. Well, I don't know why I look at my watch and just like, how long is this going to take? All right. This for you goes to 11. Thank you so much for that $50 dono. Thank you. Goes to 11. Appreciate it so much. Thank you for dropping that $50 dono. Very much appreciated, my friend. Thank you. So much. So nice of you. All right. Whew, I'm going to start getting hot. How warm is it in here? That's only 77 degrees. How bad is that? All right. So,
I'm colder than Houston.
What was that, Brent? I missed it.
I said a lot cooler than Houston.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so my next question. Before I move on to my next question, did I miss anybody in chat? Because I realize that not everybody is in Discord voice with us here. Is there anyone that wants to say something about what got you into simming? I would love to see it. It's posted in there, and if I don't read it or I do read it, but maybe a little something about what got you into flight simming and what brought you to FSExpo if you went. Meter says, oops. What you started, Meter. And so here we've got Richard Clark says, I just ordered the Alpha Bravo setup. It should be here Wednesday. Can't wait. I'm going to tell you right now, Richard, you are not going to be disappointed. I'll tell you what, I think the best product out of all three things that Honeycomb has right now between the Alpha Bravo and the Charlie pedals, I will say it's the Bravo. The Bravo, if in my humble opinion, if you're going to buy, any of you would buy anything from Honeycomb, you want a good price point and functionality and things, I would definitely go with the Bravo. The Alpha's good, and they have done so. I think one of the things that you might have there, Big Al, is, or Richard Clark, is I think they've actually changed some of the tension, between the when you're pulling back on the yoke and pushing forward. I'm saying this and I might be making it up. I think they improved that, but I do know that they improved like the magneto switches. So there's that spring action loaded, because like right now I click it all the way over to like start, and I gotta like manually turn it back to both for the magnetos to continue to be running. And then there's some things with the sensors that they increase the resolution on the sensors and stuff like that, and they talked about that at Flight Sim Expo, which we'll get into a little bit here as well. But BA Fish agreed. Alpha and Bravo are an excellent buy for the money. Yes, exactly. Harry W is in the house. Harry Tipbird, how are you doing, Harry? ISU fan for life, and says hey to Tipbird. Did I miss Tipbird? Where's Tipbird? Alexander, great chilling with you guys, but I got to roll. Alexander, thank you so much for joining. I almost missed that. Sorry I didn't call you out earlier. I'm trying to keep attention between here and there, but thank you for joining, Alexander. And Tipbird's in here. That's pretty cool. Tommy Hughes is in here. Tommy Hughes, thanks for joining tonight. Good to see you. Fly Sim interest, spent 4 years on an aircraft carrier. Tommy, I didn't realize that. Did I realize that? Wow, that's pretty cool. Captain Fozzie, when I was a young lad, we would fly Southwest, and I would always be fascinated with the 7.3s, and was hooked ever since. Yes, actually, funny story, Captain Fozzie, on that one is my son's like, Dad, are all the Southwest? Not all the Southwest aircraft are 737s. I'm like, yes, they are. He's like, they've got. What did he say? He told me something like they have a. I think he said something about a 757 or something. I'm like, no, they're all 7.3s. They're all 7.3s. But get that, Southwest, we're flying Southwest, actually, when we go to Savannah on Sunday. Harry W., you rode your motorcycle all the way there, and I don't, did Harry jump in here in voice and I missed him? I don't see him. So, but just to let you all know, Harry was another one that came down, and he actually recorded me. If you check the channel, you'll see me doing a landing challenge. It wasn't the best of my three, and I think Silva Killer, you found the one where I just almost got $1 million. I don't fly the 747; it was at Innsbruck, but he did capture the video there, and so thank you, ISU fan for life, aka Harry, for doing that. It was such a good time to do that, and then I got Silver on there too. I got that posted there, so check that out. Ricky's Roll says, great product. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Brent, you said Harry was heading to supper earlier. Not sure if he's back yet. Okay. I thought I just post a little bit ago, but maybe not. And so anyway, friends, thank you so much for contributing on that. Let's see. Big Al said, yeah, I started with the flight sim way back in early 2000s in Ireland, when it could take like a week to download 100 megabyte file. Just love how it lets us travel anywhere in the world. I do too. Nicely put, Big Al. That is so true. It's great where you can fly anywhere in the world in an instant. And then the fact that it does have the satellite imagery. Who out there has X-Plane? Who has X-Plane 11 and did Ortho 4XP? I've got two 8 terabyte Western Digital Black external drives because I needed cheap hard drive space, and there's cheaper drives than those, of course. But you'd have to pre-download like all the satellite imagery and then stitch it together, right? But it did make it better. It did make it better. And Big Al says, yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, I remember spending hours, Big Al, on that, just downloading tons of. And actually, we had what's called MediaCom, and there was a data cap. So when we moved to fiber and there was no data cap, I went crazy. There's a streamable ortho now for X-Plane. Aw-meter, thank you for saying that. Yeah, and you know what? I heard that, and I didn't even know that, Aw-meter, when at FSExpo. Auto ortho, that's what it is. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Someone said that. Maybe it was you. I don't even remember. But yeah, that is pretty cool. So check that out, friends, if you have X-Plane 12. Because, yeah, that makes all the difference in the world, right? I mean, that is some cool stuff. So, Aw-meter, thank you for throwing that out there, buddy. Okay, so what's next? All right, so I am going to ask the next. Well, I gotta say what brought me there. Everybody knows my answer. I think I already said it, right? But what I think many of you know, like what got me into flight simming. So I remember way back. And how many of you? This is going to date me a little bit. Can you say I've got some gray hairs here? Who all knows or has heard of Sublogic? Anyone heard of Sublogic? So I remember getting, right?
You betcha.
TNT says yes, yeah. I mean, way back in the Sublogic days, and that's where you had like the wire framing, and I remember like you'd take off from Meigs Field. How many of you know Meigs Field, right? And you would see the Sears Tower. I think it had the John Hancock on there too, and it was like 2 buildings, and you just nothing but black, earth and
nothing there.
Nothing there, right? Exactly. And I don't know if we were even maybe 5 frames per second, something like that. That just goes to show how long I've been in flight simming.
The little stick on top of the Sears Tower.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think everybody was flying with a keyboard.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got Angel 15 says, oh yeah, Sublogic. So I got a lot of friends here that can relate, and so I've been doing it ever since then. And Commodore 64 128, Brent, you remember Falcon 3.0, and we were trying to get it working with HiMem-Sys and trying to get enough conventional memory to even run the damn thing. It had a manual like as thick as a steak, and then got into Janes. How many of you have done Janes? I got heavy into military aircraft flight simming. Actually, at one point I thought, well, it'd be cool to go into the Navy or Air Force, and Brent, you're looking at the Air National Guard and that, but so I did a lot of Janes, combat simming. How many of you remember what was the Microsoft Combat
Ace.
Simulator? Ace, yeah.
It was Ace, yeah.
Yeah. And then moved on to Microsoft Flight Simulator 95, 98, 2000, 2002, 2004, of course, FSX. And then Microsoft sadly said and announced that they were no longer going to be doing flight simming, and I was crushed. And I had like all the X-Plane. I think I had all the X-Planes. Many of you have Prepared. I got into Prepared because, as many of you know, Microsoft sold their license or code to Prepared, and so Prepared continued on. So it got us by, and did a lot of that. But then we're all just shoveling out the money, right? We're just shoveling it out because it's like, oh, now we got to go buy another simulator. And I know there's a lot of speculation on 2024, and we, if we have time, we can get into a little bit of that. But because at the expo they did talk about that, Microsoft talked about that. But yeah, let's. So that was that's kind of my experience. And then what brought me to Flight Sim Expo? I know I started off, I've always wanted to go since 2018, and with some encouragement from you, Brent, and others. It's just like, okay, I got to pull the trigger and do it. And so I made it there. It's like, especially with all of you going, it's like, how could I not, right? So it's good to see all of you. So my next question. All right, and I'm just going to open this up to the floor within chat, within voice. I'm not going to go through every single person because we're already at 10:12, right? So it's been an hour and almost 15 minutes. We might have to do a little bar break, but let's get this next question underway. So let's start off with what's the most exciting news you heard during the event? Who wants to open that up? What was the most exciting news that you heard? Whether it was software, whether it was hardware, whether it was like anything. Flying.
My wife's not pregnant.
Oh God. Okay, let me back up and let's say that relates to Flight Sim Expo. Although that could also
the Piper 8 from 8 to 8.
Yeah.
The honeycomb monitors.
Honeycomb monitors. Who said that? Who said the honeycomb monitors?
That was me.
All
Pilot
right.
Rick.
Pilot Rick. Yeah, that looked good. Those look cool too, didn't they? We've got, let's see, MSFS, Awmeter says MSFS 2024. I agree, Awmeter. Actually, and some of you know about this because, like, everybody started ragging on it and saying, oh, it's not going to be backwards compatible. I'm just like, it's only been the first day that it's been announced. And then they did say during the expo, and I've mentioned during one of my videos, I said, it is backwards compatible. They're keeping the community folder. Nobody fret. Did anybody pick up on when they were talking about seasons and they were looking at porting that back?
Yes.
And so that's a good sign. So what that tells me is they're going to continue to support 2020. And so those of you that have purchased it, that you'll continue. And then I'd never heard now anyone here, and I meant to drop by the Sobo booth and see if they were going to have 2024 included with Xbox Game Pass. But come on, they're going to have it, right? I mean, there's no way they wouldn't have 2024 in there, and that's how I have it.
Yeah, it's already on Game Pass. Yeah, it'll be on there.
Yeah, you got to believe it. You got to believe it. Yeah,
it was in the announcement.
Okay, I missed that, but yeah, so that's going to be. So those of you that have Xbox Game Pass, it's all going to be good. And I saw Big Al said the machine learning in 2024 for improving all the scenery looks amazing. Agreed. The other thing that seems pretty damn cool. How about AI? We all talk about the artificial intelligence. And like, can you imagine like talking to ATC and actually having artificial intelligence behind that, or even other AI aircraft having artificial intelligence behind it? That is going to be mind-blowing, I think. So I'm pretty excited about that. I know a lot of you know about ChatGPT and a lot of the other AI stuff that's out there. But I mean, just to have that capability behind it, and Microsoft's deep into it. So they're going to have that functionality with 2024. I mean, why wouldn't they? So yeah, we got. So what do we have? We had the Comanche 250, A2A. I thought that was incredible. That was. So during that conference, and we're sitting there on Friday, and I was actually direct messaging back and forth with Oz Flight Simmer. Of course, he's in Australia, but he's sending me. He's like, "What do you think so far?" And I'm talking a bit, and I'm like, "I'm really looking forward to seeing what A2A has to offer here," because it was like coming up, and then it was like that was like, yeah, incredible. I mean, I love the Thrustmaster. When they did the announcement in that, and that was really cool to see. But yeah, I'd have to say the A2A Comanche 250. What else we got? Who else has wanted to throw something out? Anyone else have anything that wasn't mentioned that they thought was pretty cool?
Actually, the best thing that was, next to the Comanche, the best thing was that Microsoft crashed their system while they were there. So I guess that's a really good view of 2024.
Oh my gosh! I mean, I seriously. So a lot of you know I'm in IT. There was a moment that I like almost got up to go check because I had a feeling like they just needed to go to like the sound mixer because they weren't getting the sound out of it. And it's just like, maybe it wasn't that, but it was just that IT guy in me that just wanted to go up there and do it. But I, it's like I didn't want to go up and fail, but at the same time, it's just like I was tempted to do it. But that was funny, Brent. It happens, it happens. But yeah,
I know, but they fought. The only thing that would have made it better is if they would have got the blue screen of death.
Right. Yeah, poor guys that work on that every day. Poor users just don't know. Big Al says, I know, right? I remember we were at a conference, and it was the CIO. I was sitting at the same table as my chief technology officer and CIO, and we were at this hotel, and I don't know what the hell they're interfacing with and what they're using, but like they were having problems getting the stuff to display on the screen, and like one of the IT guys that was there like looked at me like, hey, you know, Darren, why don't you go up and help? And of course I did. But we got it working. So, but it's like, oh, I've got the CIO, CTO here, but you never know what the hell people have and how they have it set up. But I did. I felt like going up there and helping them. But anyway, that was pretty epic, wasn't it?
Yes, and I also liked seeing SimFab. They had some really nice setups for all their different cockpits.
Absolutely, yeah, that was pretty incredible.
I couldn't agree more.
Back here, did you guys meet Two Tone?
I saw him. I didn't get a chance to say hi. He was a pretty busy guy up behind the camera.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him there because, but yeah, I didn't get to meet him either. But in fact, like, let me switch to, but here's, let me go back to the thumb here. So through this together, I don't know if you all can see it very well. But on the left, kind of in the center there, that's Q8 Pilot. My son and I bumped into him twice in the elevator. He was staying at the same hotel. So I got a chance to talk to him. I know, Brent, you talked to him a few times as well, just one-on-one.
Yeah, great guy.
He's fantastic, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. It just out there. Actually, I kind of recognize him from the picture there that you're showing on the screen there, Sim.
Right.
And we were outside and just talking about the expo and that, and I said, well, where are you from? And he says, well, I'm from Kuwait. I said, you're Kuwait? I'm Sim's older brother. How you doing? So, yeah, and we talked quite a few times after that, but hell of a nice guy.
Yeah, super nice guy. But on the top there, that's where we're all, at the captain's dinner. On the upper right, that's my brother was just talking, B.A. Fish and myself. Below that on the right, you see the guy in the white shirt and white hat. That's a Honeycomb guy that I got his number. His name's Andrew, by the way. I didn't remember his last name, not that I would post this here, but it was good. He was a super nice guy. He'd only been there with the company for like 10 days, and I think he was project manager and maybe involved a little bit in marketing. Of course, below that, you see the Legionnaire airplane, the A320 that we flew there from Des Moines to Houston. And then in the center there, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but the Thrustmaster news about the Viper and the Viper TQS mission pack, that was pretty sweet. I was pretty excited about that. And I don't do a lot of DCS flying, but I have. And just to the lower left of the Thrustmaster flight stick there, that's Delcam 88 there. Kind of hard to see because we're behind the SimExpo text there. To the left of that, underneath Q8, Jeff Fabiano. Jeff, I don't know if many of you know who Jeff Fabiano is. I bumped into him on the elevator going down the elevator in our hotel. He was staying there with his wife as well. And so I got a chance to say hello to them. And then I told T, my son, I'm like, that's Jeff Fabiano, because he gets a kick out of me, laughs his butt off at him. And then I saw him again, of course, at the expo, and got a chance to talk to him a bit and get a picture there. And then in the upper left-hand corner, that's all of us at that Pier 6 restaurant. And again, Brent, thank you so much for footing the bill on that. I know that wasn't a light bill, but very nice of you as well to do that. SimFanatic, did I miss, when is the A2A's plane coming out? Is there a date? I don't recall a date being said. Did anyone recall a date being said? I know they're getting closer.
No, I don't recall one.
Yeah, I don't think they announced on a specific date on that, but incredible. If you haven't seen that trailer and what they did to get to do that development on that plane and what came of it is pretty amazing. So definitely Definitely check that out, Don, and the rest of you. All right, so next question I have, and then we'll do a bio break for about 5 minutes because I definitely have to do that. But before we do that, friends, next question I have is, what would you say was your favorite hardware product that was announced or that you got to try out?
Well, one I bought.
One you bought?
Hey, there you go.
The Virpil, the rudder pedals, Brent?
Yeah. I was kind of leaning towards the TPR, but for the planes I like to fly, I think the TPRs will probably suit better for my mission. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, I was just blown away. Like, I'm an engineer, and I'm a machinist, and the machining on that is second to none. It top quality. I've never looked inside the TPRs, and I'm sure it's just as good, but I really like those pedals.
Well, and that's yeah, and I was very, I will have to say I was very impressed with them as well. And how much were they? Because like I'm looking at Virpil Control's U.S. site, and do you recall which models those were? I think they only have one, and they have the torque pedals as well for those that like to do helicopter flying.
If you look at the site, it's the one that has both pedals with it. It has the heel saddles, and it also has the toe pedals.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a link in here for everyone so they can see this. Did I get the right one there? Because those are 420.
If you use the flight sim code from the expo, which is Foxtrot Sierra Echo 2023, you'll get 10% off. I know they're running a 10% coupon through today, but if you use that, I don't know how long it's valid for. Says your next order. So anyway, I know that they list at like $429 or $419.95.
Yeah,
one of those two.
Yeah, I put a link in chat there. 420, I think.
With the discount in that, they were just over $400 shipped.
And now on their site it says back ordered, and I think you just mentioned that. How long is it going to take to get to you?
I've heard, well, Tony said 2 to 3 weeks is what they expect. And he's with, he was the lead guy, I believe. I don't know that for a fact. But he said probably 2 to 3 weeks back ordered. So maybe 4 or 5 weeks. So
okay,
not bad. I mean, I'm willing to wait.
Yeah, and that's fine. And I know when we were talking to the rep from Virpil, I asked about how long would it take, and I think he mentioned like 2 weeks, but it depends on what you're getting. So that's good to hear. And you're going to have to let us know, Brent, as you work with them. I know there are a few others here that are part of the channel that I think ordered them. So you'll have to keep me posted. You asked me, Brent, and some of you, I know Silver and some others, like, what do you prefer? I prefer the TPRs. I did try them out. I do think they are wonderful pedals, the Virpils. Like you said, Brent, the machine work was like just beautiful. And they're actually, I think they're heavier than the TPRs. And believe it or not, TPRs are more like a lot of aluminum, I think, construction, at least with the pedals and that, where this is like heavy steel on a lot of the design. If I'm not mistaken, Britt, correct me if I'm wrong, but I definitely and there was something about that you could actually take those bottom pieces off so you could put your heels on the floor. That's one of the things that I really like about the TPR pedals is I can put my heels on the floor. I'm a real pilot, and when I'm flying like a Piper Warrior, I'm flying the Cessna or what have you, that's just more natural to me. The pendular motion of the TPR pedals is more natural for me, but also they're like $600. I think you can get them cheaper. You might get them a little more expensive than that, and it all comes down to what's your budget. And for the price point, yeah, I mean, if I was strapped for cash, I mean, I'd certainly go with those. I'm just going to say this right now. The Charlie pedals, I didn't get a lot of time with them. Okay. And I want to be kind of careful what I say, but I wasn't overly impressed. I'm just going to say that, but I haven't had a lot of time to use them. I'm all about being honest with all of you. And so, a lot of you is like, oh, Sam, come over and try the Charlies out and try these Virpils out and see what you think, because, you all know how much I love the TPRs. But it's probably just the fact I've been used to TPRs for so long. Now, if I had like the cheaper model of the Thrustmaster, or I had the cheaper model of like the CH products. How many of you have the CH products Pro pedals? If I tried the Charlies over that, I'd be like, holy crap, these are such a blast. So take that for what it's worth, friends, because I've been using the TPR pedals probably for about 3 or 4 years, and I just love them. And it's one of those things you get used to, and you just like it. So I'm not knocking the Charlie pedals. I'm just saying I love my TPRs.
Sam, I'd like to add one more thing to the Charlie pedals. And I know I already expressed this to you earlier, and I told Nikki, the owner of Honeycomb, is that one thing that bothered me, and like you said, on the other pedals, you can drag your feet your heels on the floor, you can slide them. I've actually got a piece of stainless on the bottom of my simulator so I can slide my feet until I'm ready to put the brakes on and put my feet up. One thing the Charlie pedals do have on the bottom of them, they've got ridges where you would slide your feet. They've got the heel saddles. But if you're used to flying with your toes on the rudders until you're ready to brake, you'll drag your feet on the bottom of the Charlie pedals because they do have ribs across where the floor would be. So that was, if I had to make one complaint. Other than that, they felt great. They were nice pedals, but that was my only one complaint. If I bought them, I would put pieces of steel on them, stainless probably, or aluminum, in order to let my heel slide. So I do want to know that if they're looking for pedals where they're going to be flying general aviation aircraft, and they want to slide their heels, they will have to do that mod to it.
Right. And I saw, thank you, Brent, for that. And I see Big Al said, I have a set of MFG pedals. They are amazing, created by an engineer, so built to last. I hadn't heard, I think I've heard of those. And then Proctus says, I have the Logitech pedals, and the Charlie ones felt similar with the sliding back and forth design, but Nicky did work on SciTech products too, so maybe he likes that design, don't know. Very well could be. Yeah, I mean, kind of what they're familiar with. And Ricky's World, Pilot Rick, I know you just got the TPRs. In fact, just within the last week, right? And you're loving them so far.
Yeah, I just got them actually. I think that was last night.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
they're working out great. I've been doing a lot of programming with it, so it's been really good.
Quick comment on Virpil.
Yeah.
Low-Tech here. Hi, guys.
Hey, Low-Tech.
Great to be with you for the first time.
Welcome.
When I first made my first order from Virpil, and it was back when they're in the EU, they were only shipping from there. I spent like $800 with them, and FedEx lost my package.
Oh no.
And I contacted them, and they got right back to me, and after they said give it a little time, about 2 weeks after that, they sent me a complete replacement for free and said, hey, if you could do the honor system, if those things show up at your door at some time, would you let us know, and we'll send you a return label back to us? That would be great. Thank you. And
nice.
Yeah, like 3 months later, they showed up here after I already had my new setup. So
wow.
they were with me all the way, contacting me saying, hey, I called the shipper. Here's what's going on. We're doing this. They kept me in the loop the whole time. They've been great.
Love it. Thank you for throwing that out there, Low-Tech, because I mean, I think, and that's the thing. If you spend that kind of money, as long as you're staying informed and you feel like the company that you bought them from they're like keeping you updated, like you said, and letting you know where it's at. That goes a long ways, and you just like hear nothing and you don't have any idea. And I think with Honeycomb, I love Honeycomb. I mean, if many of you, if you've seen my channel, I do several product reviews on the Alpha and Bravo. I did 2 reviews of the Bravo. I can't say enough good things about Honeycomb. I think they have a good business philosophy of like trying to build products that are affordable, that aren't in like the thousands of dollars range, so that those that are more budget conscious, they can actually afford them and use them. I can't say enough good things. So Please don't take this as I'm knocking on the Charlie pedals, because I'm not. I'm just like, I'm used to my TPRs. And I see that Oz Flutsima mate is in the house. Oz, thanks for joining us tonight. Oz, and Oz actually made a comment here. The problem, SimFanatic, when you fly real aircraft in real life, it's hard to find anything in the sim world to compare. Exactly. And so true. And Oz, I don't know what pedals you have. Let us know what pedals you have, Oz. I don't know if I ever have asked you that, but I love the TPRs. They feel just so close to the real thing. I mean, but, you know, I was mentioning to some of you, like the Virpals, I think if I was like flying a helicopter or I was flying some of the military aircraft, I think those would feel realistic. Not that I've flown that before. I'm just saying I probably would go with those, but they're also at a lower price point. So that's what I think is really, I think the key thing to take away from this, whether you're interested in the lower line Thrustmasters, the CH products, which I wouldn't get a CH product. Please don't get do they even make, CH was bought out by SciTech, or I don't know. But I would not get the CH products. Not that they're horrible, but spend just a little bit more money, save up a few more, you know, weeks, months, what have you, and go with like either the Virpals or some, even the Thrustmaster line below the TPR. Over the CH, I would recommend. But there's Rudo. How many of you heard of Rudo? I was actually originally looking at Rudo, but those damn things are like $1,200. And then I came across the TPR pedals. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get these. But the point I want to make is, how cool is it today that we have this many options at various price points, so it can fit a budget for any of us. And we can go. You know, not everybody can spend $600 on the TPR pedals. Not everybody can spend $380 in the Virpals. And so there's a lot of options for all of you and all of us out there. And I think we're at a really unique time and place right now that we have so many options to be able to choose from, which is pretty exciting to me. CH showing your age, I know, right, Oz? Hey, Oz, we were talking about how we got into flight simming, and I mentioned, you know, I asked how many know about SubLogic, and that dated me, buddy. Thank you, Oz Flight Simmer, for joining. Hey, we have AWmeter here. We've got several developers in the house tonight. We had AWmeter from SimBrief is in here. We've got Justin from Fast Cow Productions is in here, and we also have Hangar Studios in here. So we actually have 3 developers in the house. Now we got Oz Flight Simmer. As many of you know, the man, the myth, the legend is in here, and an incredible influencer. And I feel fortunate to have that we've partnered up together. I actually mean more partnering up with him, to be honest. But Oz Flight Simmer Shane, it's so good to have you as a friend, and has definitely given me some tips and that. And Q8 Pilot, I was hoping he might be able to join, but I know everybody has a life. Oz Flight Simmer, you got the okay from Mrs. Oz Flight Simmer to join us tonight, apparently. Virtual Fly are the best, but not in everyone's budget. Oh, yeah, Virtual Fly's good stuff. Yeah, I was looking at that. All right, friends. Well, we've got, you know, we're at 23. We actually hit up to like 33 tonight talking. I've got a few more questions. I know we're already hitting the 1.5 hour mark. Let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break if we could, and I'll be back with all of you here in 5 minutes. Go get yourself an orange whip. Oz doesn't have to have alcohol in it, by the way. So
Sam.
Yes,
Sam.
brother.
Sam.
Yes.
You got 43 likes. Time for the shuffle.
Oh my gosh. No, didn't I say that when I did at 38? Didn't I say that I got a pass on that? There's Brent right there, by the way, the red shirt and white hat. And then Silver Killer on the left, Old Golfer on the far right, and then Delgam next to him to the left. But okay, that's fair, Brent. This is for all of you. Close your eyes, and then we're going to take a 5-minute break because you're going to need it. All right, friends, here we go. Here it is, Oz. It's not this. It's not this. It's this, right? Exactly, friends. SimFanatic Shuffle. Brent, thanks. 5-minute bio. Be right back. And we have a few more questions. I'm going to do the video of what we did as the Hangover parody, and then we'll close out for the night. But there's a lot more to come. So stick around. Be right back with you Blue Skies, friends. Thank you for joining tonight. I'll be right back.
guys, everybody. I gotta get out of here. I got an early tea time, so y'all take care. Yeah. Oh, dude.
Blue skies, old golfer.
Enjoy the golf tomorrow.
We'll catch you later.
All right, later.
Bye, man. Later.
Have a good night. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Be right back.
Hey, Brian. I mean, BA Fish. Is it Brian?
That's close enough. I've been called asshole, so yeah, it's closer.
Oh, it's Brent. That's right. It's Brent. My bad. Hey, man, it looks like it might show up tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't look at. Yeah, excited, man. It's I saw it just landed in Des Moines tonight, and usually if it lands in Des Moines by midnight, a lot of times it'll make it up to Mason City. So yeah, it could be here tomorrow. No, I appreciate it. That worked out good for me. I hope it worked out good for you.
It did. And if you have any issues, don't hesitate to call me.
No, like I said, I love flying those little microjets. I've got the BD5J, and I've got the Sonics jet. And actually, what I'm thinking about doing is actually building a full aluminum cockpit that kind of encapsulates both of them to fly them in. And probably the first time I do it, I'll make it so it rocks back and forth, and maybe put some thumpers in it or something. But
cool. Well, hey, while I'm here, I just wanted to say, hey, you guys, it's great. Been great flying with you guys. You guys have all been so kind to me online and everything, and you know, I'm right with you guys.
It's great. You gonna be able to make it out to FSExpo maybe next year, especially if it's in San Diego.
That would be cool. I live up here in Seattle. How about the Museum of Flight here in Seattle is pretty sweet.
Yeah,
that's where I want it. That's where I would love to go, is Seattle. Right, it would be a lot cooler. I mean, you might get rained on, but it's a lot cooler up there.
Oh yeah.
I've got a lot of family up there, and a lot of family members worked for Boeing up there. So
yeah, I got
actually check out the new Boeing from Flight Simulator. What was it? The what?
Which Boeing? The 787 or?
The Strato liner was out today.
Oh, which one is that? Oh yeah.
Part of the Legend series.
The Legend series, yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, commercial flying sucks now.
You know, they had that Howard Hughes plane there, I think it was, at the Lone Star Museum there in Houston.
Yeah. Well, in the if we go to San Diego next year, that's where the Spruce Goose is still, right?
I think so, and they have a few museums there too to go check out.
Yeah, Sim and I actually have a great uncle that used to live out there that worked for, I think it was Lockheed.
Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind going to San Diego. That's a nice area. That's a nice place.
Yeah. I know one guy I used to work with down in St. Louis. He's up in Seattle now. He's working for Boeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Myself, I got into aviation because I like the home builds. I didn't ever really care to work on the big birds.
Oh yeah. Yeah, San Diego kind of reminds me of like a smaller version of Hawaii or something. I get like Hawaii vibes when I'm out there because of the way the water is and the weather is a little bit, but I definitely wouldn't mind going there.
Oh, really? You've been? See, I've never been to San Diego. I've been to LA a few times, been to the Bay Area a few times on business, but I've never been that far down. And I just, after being in those two places, just being in traffic, I know I couldn't live there.
I liked San Diego. Yeah, I drove down from, I think it was San Bernardino last year, and took a ride down there. It was I had a good time.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the best big city I've driven through and ridden in is Phoenix. They got a hell of an infrastructure there. It's very rarely slowed down. Chicago sucks. Atlanta sucks.
Yeah, Atlanta sucks.
Dallas Fort Worth, that sucks.
It was pretty.
What's that?
Pretty hot.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Well, actually, the last time I drove through Atlanta was late at night. I picked up a repo down in Fort Lauderdale and drove back up. I went from Fort Lauderdale to Chicago, partied the night in Chicago, and then came back to Iowa. And actually going through there at about 1 o'clock in the morning. Was it 1 o'clock? I don't remember what time it was, but it wasn't too bad at that time.
Yeah, Phoenix just got really hot for me, but I still had a good time there.
I don't know. I stay out that area in the summertime. I go out there in February, March when it's sub-zero here. Mm-hmm. It's a nice break.
Well, hello, friends. Back at it. Thanks for sticking around. And let's see. Well, is everybody back? Has everybody got their orange whip?
Nope, I gotta go get mine, but go ahead.
All right, you go get yours, Brent.
It's only the sixth one tonight, and there's only 4 ounces per, so we're doing good so far there, Sam.
4 ounces per? Jeez.
Well, yeah, I put 4 ounces of whiskey with 12 ounces of 7-Up, and this is my 6th one, so I'm good pacing myself, dude.
Well, what time did you start? Do I dare ask? Never mind, don't answer that.
Well, when I started. I know you were worried about me getting really wild on here, but no, I've been really good.
Yeah, well, you've been great.
Strength with me.
You've been great, bro. You've been great.
Love you. I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good. Well, friends, thanks for sticking around. I see there's 22 still here, and I didn't know what to expect, but this is the first time that we've done something like this, where I usually I'm kind of like in your face, super loud, but a little chill. And by the way, I do want to mention, because we will be leaving, we got to get up at like 4:30 in the morning to get to Des Moines International fly out. And so that's like, yeah, we can't do the fly in tomorrow. And I even thought about, well, maybe we could do it at 2 a.m. And I'm like, you know what? We need to do, and some of you had mentioned we need to do a debrief, and I'm like, that's a great idea. So this is a different format for tonight. I think it actually so far has been a successful thing. We I think we've gotten up to like 33, 34, maybe even more concurrent viewers, and look at this, we're already at 43 likes. So thank you, friends, for joining. It's been fun, and so let's dive back into it. Talk a little bit more about the experience. I think we already covered this. I was going to ask the question, what was your favorite software product reveal? I think, is it going to be a unanimous, friends, that it was the A2A Comanche? But I don't want to speak for all of you. Brett Play says 44 likes already. Thank you, Brett. I appreciate it. Brett, welcome to the live stream. I know you come over from Oz Flight Simmer's site and YouTube channel, and it's great to have you here. And Oz is with us, by the way, Brett. You probably saw that Shane, the man, the myth, the legend is here with us. But thanks for joining us, Brett, and for hitting that thumbs up button. Lowtech 420, SimFanatic, was this the most Discord people at one time? Yes, Lowtech, it was. In fact, I think there was like, oh, you were lurking, Brett. We're like 17 or 18 that were in here. And so, yes, I think we actually did hit a record tonight, friends. And so thank you for being here. That's incredible. So appreciate all of you. Oz Flight Simmer says, just flight Fokker. I love it when Shane says Fokker. Just love it. Kid at heart there, friends. But so I think, would we say it's safe to say that probably the most exciting, other than Microsoft, I know Ameter said that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Okay, I would have to say that's my most exciting news. But I know they went into depth. We'll talk a little bit about that here. I might have to skip. I've got a lot of questions, and we don't have time to get through them. And maybe I'll save them for the next Flight Sim Expo. But I would say the A2A Comanche outside of the 2024 news is definitely my most exciting thing. The thing that was most exciting to me. Would all of you agree?
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah,
you love the plane.
Oh yeah, it'll be amazing.
Yeah, looks great.
Oh, and we're gonna hold Oz Flight Simmer to doing a review. I mentioned a Q8 pilot when I was there. I was like, yeah, you definitely have to do a review of that because I know he does a lot of product reviews and so I might even have to step up my game and maybe do a review when that thing comes out. Yeah, I'll say that and we'll see if it happens. It's just the time. But yeah, I was pretty excited about that.
Hey, Sim.
Yes, buddy.
I know there's not a lot of time, but I have one of your newest SimFans.
Oh yeah.
That actually happens to be Mrs. Killer.
Mrs. Killer.
And
Mrs. Motherfucking Killer.
She just wants to get on the horn and talk to you guys for a second.
Yeah.
And say hi. But would you mind? I'm gonna hang over my headset to her. Okay.
Of course we don't mind. We'd love to hear.
All right, hang on. Here's Mrs. Killer.
All right.
Hello, how are you all?
Hello, Mrs. Killer. How's it going?
Oh, good. Happy it's Friday.
Yeah.
And wanted to just say that I enjoyed the time there, although it's not my main hobby. But I hear my husband be on this often during the weekdays or weekends, and it's a different world for me. But I loved walking around the expo and seeing things, and I like to explore things like that too. So
that's awesome.
I just want to say thank you for being so welcoming, and it was a fun group to hang out with.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us. And I was mentioning this earlier, Mrs. Silva Killer, that you were actually helping me a bit with my son because, I was always engaged with everyone, and as my brother was, and so your mom mode kicked in, and I was telling Mrs. SimFanatic about that, and she thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, thank you for your help, and thank you because you were the one that actually picked up the shirts. I think when you were at Costco and getting those nice those are nice shirts, by the way. Those Callaway nice fabric. So it's so great of you to do that.
Well, you're welcome. We searched the 3 locations we have here in Tucson.
You both are the greatest. And and I thank you for jumping on here because I know one of the things that I know there's within Google Analytics you can see how many women versus men are members of your channel, and I know that with flight simming it's predominantly male. I mean, you see some females there, and some women there, but it's predominantly male. But I always wanted this to be a channel for everyone, and so we do have a few sisters here that like to fly, and so maybe we'll have to get you into flying. What do you think? At least simming.
We'll see.
No commitments yet. No pressure.
Hey, Mrs. Kella.
Hi.
How you doing tonight, darling? I'm
Good.
supposed to tell you from Joy. She told me to tell you hi.
Oh, great. Tell her I said hi as well.
I will. And I think Sim owes you a big thank you. Because if you remember, Sim, it was Mrs. Killa that was operating the camera.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes, you did. Thank you, Brent.
Job.
Fantastic job. You did an amazing job with that. I mean, we couldn't have done it without you. Yeah, we're gonna show that a little bit later. Hopefully that'll work. I'll get that running here. But that was epic. Did you see it?
Oh, yeah, I did, of course. It was good, but now I'm thinking I should have been a better, director a little bit and helping you guys go in a little a V shape, how sort of birds fly, back and forth. So that's how they hang in The Hangover, how they walk in that scene.
Oh, see, you're like your husband, always thinking about improvements. But no, I thought it was fantastic. You did a great job. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I have some other ideas if you guys for next year that I gave to Javier, just to if you guys want to do a hangover scene, the movie, get like a big stuffed tiger and put it like in the bathroom tub or something. Like do funny scenes like that. I don't know.
Right. Well, we're just gonna have to make sure that if we, you know, if and when it is in Las Vegas, that we don't reenact the actual hangover.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, you were great to have there. Thank you for hopping on and saying hi. Really do truly appreciate it. And no, we have a great community, and of course you're always welcome. And anyone else out there, I mean, we love this community, and you're very much a part of it. Even those that are out there, wives that don't fly, it's just as good because you support it and you share Mr. Silver Killer with us. So you know we gotta say thank you for that too.
You're welcome. You're a fun group.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you next year. Actually, I would hope to see you before that, but we'll see you. But maybe at FSExpo next year.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Have a good
Thanks
one,
for
Blue
getting
Skies.
on. Come back.
Yeah. It's always good to have a woman talk on here. It's always all of us guys on there.
All right.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the chat here.
Will
the
do.
debrief.
Thank you.
Bye, Miss Killa.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bill was a
See you
lucky
later.
man.
Yes, he is. Oz Flight Simmer says, 98% male dominated, unfortunately. That's about right. Oz, I think that's pretty much what the math worked out for me. Meter says, sounds like he has high WAF for next expo. Yes, he has a what? Very good, Meter. The wife approval factor. He was listening earlier. Meter, nicely done. Yeah. I don't think Silver Killer, I don't think there's going to be any argument from Mrs. Silver Killer you going next year, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's good stuff. Brent, thank you for mentioning that, though. That is a good shout out because she did a good job on that camera work there. With such a little phone, I mean, gonna step it up next year, but I have to get her something a little bit better to use there, Silva.
Got it. Yes, sir.
All right, so I think I've got one final question here. I'm gonna save the other ones for maybe next time. So I know some of you did the workshops. How many of you did workshops? Because I did not do the workshop. Brent, I know you did a workshop, and those of you that did a workshop, can you tell us just briefly a little bit in a summary of what you thought and what it was?
Yeah. I thought I was a dumbass because I was an hour late to it and it was over.
No! Well, hey, you didn't miss your flight that way.
True.
But I thought you had signed up for 2, just the one.
I was going to sign up for 2, and then I saw the intermediate. I wanted to sign up for the same one that Delt did, and I wish I didn't get really a chance to talk to Delt about the one he did. He did the LCD with display, and again, I got the components for it. I stepped in and I can download the information.
Sure.
And if I get to my actual cockpit setup for my micros, it'll give me a head start in the interface between Microsoft Simulator and the hardware. So that's really what I want to go for. So I really can't comment on it because I did not participate. Really.
No, that's all good. Well, and I know Delt isn't here, but you know, as you mentioned, Brent, Delt did one as well. Anyone else do a workshop? Oss Flight Simmer said, I need Mrs. Silva Killer to talk to Mrs. Oss. Yes, you do. We could probably pass on that contact information, Oss, at back channel there if you want. All right, well,
anytime.
Yeah, and you know, the workshops, you know, as Brent, you had mentioned to me, like, you signed up for them, like, oh, crap, I didn't sign up for any. And I was like, well, maybe I'll do it. But then I was just so busy walking around, seeing the vendors and talking to people. I'm kind of glad I didn't sign up for it. I might check it out next year, but there's some exciting stuff. So let's talk a little bit, friends, about the expo in terms of, you know, some of the big announcements. I know that Thrustmaster, of course, was there. Fast Cow Productions. We talked about Kit Bash, Model Club. I thought that was one that was kind of out there. You know, it's kind of like, yeah, it has. I thought it was cool. I mean, the open world environment, and you could build your own. It wasn't just airplane. If you want to do a boat, you want to do a vehicle, and there was like a physics model and all that. It was just kind of like an open world environment. Kind of interesting. I felt, to me, and you all tell me I'm wrong, but I felt like it was maybe a little out of place. But nonetheless, it was kind of cool to see. So they had that Kit Bash Model Club. The other thing they had, obviously we talked about the A2A simulations. Navigraph, of course, was there, and they talked about the history of it. I thought that was cool. There was like 2 representatives that actually they started it, and they talked about kind of the history of it, where they're going, and they added that weather component. I don't know if all of you have checked that out, but that was recent. They added the weather radar and some of the weather components to Navigraph charts. So that was pretty cool to see. And Navigraph, I mean, I think a lot of us here have Navigraph and have Navigraph charts. Of course, SimBrief merged with Navigraph. I don't know what that was, a year ago or something. But the SimBrief developer, right? Awemeter could tell us about that, I'm sure, in chat. But it seemed like that kind of like merged, but now is under the Navigraph umbrella. But they did a lot of talking about the history of Navigraph and, like, you know, the charts and the lack of charts and things like that. So that was kind of interesting to hear. And of course, this is all on Friday. And oh yeah, the online ATC thinging, right? The other thing, the honeycomb. Let's talk about the honeycomb aeronautical part. So they have the Alpha Light. I thought this was pretty cool. So it's basically the Alpha flight controls. Now, when I bought Alpha flight controls 3 years ago, I pre-ordered them, and they were $250 at the time. I think they're $275 now. Correct me if I'm wrong, friends. I haven't looked in a while. But they have a more budget-conscious Alpha Light that are supposed to be practically as good as the Alpha flight controls, the original ones. And so those are going to come in at a price point of $200. They have the Alpha Flight Controls Pro that are coming in at $299. This is a new yoke. It's still fundamentally the Alpha that we're used to, that I've had for years, but it'll come with a better Hall effect, sensors, like I said earlier, the resolution, I think it was like 16,096 or some crazy thing like that, and it's a lot more advanced than the original Alpha. You know, it does have the spring-loaded actuator for the magneto switch, so they talked about that, which I thought was pretty neat. And then they also have, now many of you know I bought an Flight Sim Mate. Flight Sim Desk Pro. I think I got that right. I bought it. I love it. You can tell it's 3D printed, but it's done very well. It's got bigger throttle, and they go right on your Honeycomb Bravo. You certainly couldn't fit 4 of them. So if those of you that be flying either the I don't know, name it, DC-10 or something like that, where you have 3 engines, or you have 4 engines, like if you're flying the A380 or 340, or of course the 747, there's no way it would fit on that. But they did talk about their flap kit for the Boeing and Airbus. It did come in as a price point, they're saying, of $30. I thought that was pretty affordable. And when we were talking in the booth with Honeycomb, I mentioned, there's a lot of third party, and they're third party, but there's a lot of home, people that want to create solutions for the products, and rightfully so, make a few bucks off it. They have 3D printers, so they make some of the better, bigger, because I always felt like I mean, how many of you, when you got the Honeycomb Bravo throttle quadrant, you're like, well, this is kind of Mickey Mouse, like it's a good, I mean, I wasn't complaining, but I'm like, it feels so small. I feel like I should be a little bit, like, have smaller hands. And so it's kind of nice to have some of these products that are out there that are third party, that you can actually add on and make the bigger throttles and levers and all that stuff, which I highlighted in a few past live streams, but they actually have the molding, right? Somebody say something?
Yeah, I said comment on that. Did I get that right? That he said that the new yoke is so sensitive that you have to lock it to one side when you push other buttons because it detects a yoke movement? I thought he said something like that.
I missed that, but that I wouldn't doubt it. Anyone else hear that?
I do remember him saying that, like on Saturday when he had like a giant crowd around him, like Saturday around lunch. I think it had to deal something with like the calibration or something like that. Yeah. Okay,
could be. Yeah, interesting. So right there, you're seeing this video. I didn't mention this before. This is over with the Virpol, and so this is their throttle solution, and you have a lock mech. I finally figured it out. I'm like, well, how the hell do I get this detached? And I'm like, how do I get this up? And then, but I finally figured it out. And there's a little locking mechanism that you can separate those to be 2 throttles or pair them up together. One of the things I do want to mention on Virpil is, and I know I mentioned this to you, Brent, after it, great products. Like Brendan said, the machine work is second to none. Solid construction material. The one thing I would say about them, and I don't know, low tech, maybe it was because I might have been playing with a demo unit, but I thought the buttons, I was expecting a little more. I mean, this is like commercial grade, and I was expecting a little bit more on the buttons. The buttons are like the plastic buttons and stuff seem to have like kind of a little bit of a give, where when I would like go and do like the Warthog or the Thrustmaster, it seemed more like what I would expect from like a commercial grade quality. But this isn't commercial grade price, so you know I get that, where you know there's a give and take when it comes to cost. In terms of the like all that's metal construction, that quick release. How many of you are like, because I mentioned this during the live stream, I always wondered this, like even with the TCA Boeing yoke or the Bravo throttle or Alpha, it's like, why do I have to say I'm doing the motion like an orange whip, but you have to turn these damn knobs, you know, and then you got to tighten them down. Why can't we just have a quick release? I bought this, many of you know, for my T1600 Thrustmaster, when I want to do stick and rudder, it's got one of those quick release. It's so nice. You just, boom, you're done. I'm not thinking with having to, you know, Pro Death Sim. Thank you, Oz Flight Simmer. Anyway, but like you see that long trigger switch, and it to me, it seemed kind of thin. I don't know. It's probably just fine. I mean, it's not like you're going to put a lot of pressure on that anyway. But I in terms of the metal construction and everything, it's like, holy crap, this is beautiful. This is amazing. But then I was like, maybe that was just me, like expecting the buttons in that to be maybe a little bit more cushy than just like kind of a give and just a little click and stuff like that. Like maybe a little more, I'm going to use a word that I don't know if I'm using right, but more actuation on the buttons in that, like I would have with the Thrustmaster. I mean, maybe it was because I started with the Warthog. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. But you're also spending a lot of money for those. So,
Hey,
well,
Sam,
one thing that Virpil didn't mention to you when he was telling you about the gimbal there is that gimbal also supports all 3 Thrustmaster. Warthog, the F18, and the Cougar grip can be stuck on any of the Virpil grips. Nice.
That's cool. That's definitely cool.
Yeah,
Nightbot is a dud. I saw Alan Cleveland asked about flight. Alan, you had missed that. Welcome, Alan. It's good to see you. This is the fly-in, if you will. We will not be doing a live stream. I will be leaving for Savannah at 4:30 in the morning on Sunday. So, and then we got to get all packed and everything tomorrow. So this is the fly-in, if you will. But welcome, Alan. Glad you're here, buddy. Brent, you were going to say something maybe on the Virpil. By the way, I'm not knocking Virpil, so I'm trying to give objective feedback on what my experience was with it. I'm not knocking on that. I'm not knocking on Charlie, but I'm just saying these are the things that I'm trying to be objective about it, and what some of the things I thought were really good, but also some of the things I think were maybe a little surprising that could be maybe better. But okay, go ahead, Brent. I'm sorry.
No, Chipper was going to say something, so I'll let him go first.
Is Chipper going to talk? Chipper.
I can hear you.
Oh, he's muted.
I'm not muted.
Oh, there you go.
No, I hear Chipper.
I hear you now.
Oh, okay. No, I was just saying, talking about the feel of a controller and how you figure it should have more heft for something that price range. And it just threw me back to on the news last week, that submersible they were using a PlayStation controller to control that multi-million-dollar submersible.
Oh, that's their problem.
You know what? To defend him, he did say they keep 3 on board in case one doesn't work.
Yeah, PlayStation controllers.
Sounds like they needed an Xbox Elite controller, maybe.
Yeah, you would think you just go for the Elite. Come on.
Yeah, right. Or the Virpil.
Yeah, no,
it
went with
the
PlayStation.
throttle, I saw you oohing and ahhing over the Virpil throttle.
Oh yeah, that thing is awesome. That thing is awesome. Angel 15 says, was VKB at the show? Anybody know? I don't recall. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Angel. Osflight Simmer, you know, that's a good point. I was going to make that point earlier. Problem with Honeycomb is they have so many products, but yet people are still waiting on the Charlie to be produced. I think they need to focus on the Charlies first. I agree. Yeah, I mean, it's like... They come to the show and announcements like they're putting so much effort and stuff into all these new products like the Delta. They have a chair. I forgot about the chair. The chair actually was pretty comfortable, but it's like they have a chair. They have these Delta displays. They have the, I talked about the new stuff for the Boeing and Airbus in terms of the throttles and the flap levers. And of course, they have the Charlie pedals that they still are not getting out the door. They did talk about that. What did they say? They said they're going to give like $50 off for those that kept the order, but those that pre-ordered wanted out, they would let them out and give them a hat that Brent, you paid $30 for, and all of us got a free one. I like to bug them about that. But I agree with you, Osflight Simmer, 100%. That would be my criticism of Honeycomb right now, is that they are getting they're already over capacity in terms of demand. They did hire, like I mentioned, I was talking to a contact that I have now they have a new project manager, and he talked a little bit about that. In terms of them, just trying to refocus and making sure that they're delivering. But yeah, I mean, when it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's cool to hear all these things, and I'm excited. I love Honeycomb. I love Honeycomb. I mean, I'll say that again and again and again. I love the fact that they're coming in at price points that are affordable to all of us out there. They can't afford $500, $600, $1,000 and something. In fact, when I was talking with one of the representatives, where he had mentioned that you can basically, with the Deltas and all that, their goal is that you can have essentially a home built. You can have a home cockpit for under $3,000. Where there was one that I tried out that was all put together and everything. It was like $14,000 or $15,000, and so that is Honeycomb's goal. And I love that. I love the philosophy, and I love the vision they have. But I agree with you, Osflight Simmer, Shane, that they need to focus on the products that they already promised, get them out the door, making sure they're getting things fixed that are returns. I know I've heard of some people that have had been waiting for them to get back to them in terms of support calls. So it's a classic thing where a company has a new product and they explode, and they get the demand for them gets so beyond that they can't keep up with their original products and stuff. And they just let's hope that they catch up and they do focus on the things that they need to get out there, like the Charlie pedals, like you say, Shane. I agree. It's so the next thing they talked about the Lima chair that's $300. This is one I was like, what? Who else is with me? The USB hub. I was like, why? $50 for a USB hub. It's a powered USB hub. You can buy them off of Amazon for probably like $50 or $60. I've got like 2 of them. Most people should know, if you're going to hook any of your peripherals in to a USB hub, you want to make sure it's powered, right? And that one I was just like, we're having a flight sim USB hub. Okay, I guess. Exactly. I was like, really? A USB hub, of all the things that they're putting their time and effort into, it's going to be a flight sim USB hub for $50. Silver, you had a comment.
And it was on. No, it was me.
Or you, Brent.
And it was only 32 kilowatt or 32 watt powered hub.
Is that all it was? I didn't catch that.
There were only 5 ports on it.
It's like, what? So, I don't get it. That's back to your point, Oz. I mean, it's just like, why are they doing this? I mean, okay, but what they're probably doing would be my guess is some manufacturer is already making them, so they're like, hey, you know what, you're selling them for $30, how about we buy a bunch of them, you put our label on them, and we'll sell them for $50. I'm guessing it's something like that, but whatever. Okay, so $50 flight sim USB hub. The Lima chair, actually I thought the Lima chair was kind of cool. I tried that out, and $300. I've got a can you all see this? I've got one of these, I always forget what it's called, Secret Lab chairs, and it's not cheap. I mean, this Secret Lab chair, I think, was like $400, and it's not that comfortable. I mean, I did a review on it. It's not that comfortable, and you know, but I sat down in the Lima chair, and I think Silver, you sat in that too, right?
Oh yeah, man. I actually had to vouch for them. It's a very comfortable chair. I just didn't want to get up anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It was that good. It was that good. Great quality, by the way.
Good quality. Yeah, I would agree. The chair was. I'd consider buying the chair. And it actually had a really nice. It had a better headrest than this thing. It had a nice headrest because it like protruded from the back. This thing's just flat. So that's, and again, it's probably them just partnering with somebody that's already making gaming chairs. I don't know. I'm speculating, but I mean, obviously they're not in the business of making chairs, so they're partnering with somebody with design and then putting their name on them, which is fine. But I did. It was almost like a velvet, wasn't it? Kind of thing. Yes,
oh,
buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason, the way I found you wasn't through Flight Sim. It was I bought a Secret Labs chair and it had that rocking thing in it, and I looked for a video on how to fix that gap in my chair, and that's how I found you.
Is that right? Oh, that's crazy. Thank you for putting that out there, because that's one of the things that I was like, it's just crazy when who was that? Was that Low Tech? Yes, Low Tech. That was driving me nuts, dude. When I got this, I'm like, what the hell's going on? This is right. It's like a $380 chair. Why am I getting all this give in it? And
I was about to send mine back.
I was about to too. And so I'm like, oh, I had to really crank on the thing. So I put a video. That's awesome, man. I never knew that, Low Tech. Thank you for throwing that out there.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Hey, Low Tech. Your story about how you came across him is a hell of a lot more interesting than mine.
Well, we're waiting. Caddyshack reference, by the way.
Do tell.
Oh, I came across it because all of a sudden my mom came home with this little kid in the carry-all.
Where did this come from?
9 years apart we are, aren't we?
About that, yeah.
About that. Oh, funny.
No, brother, I gotta give him shit. It's my job.
It's his job. It's his job.
What big brothers do.
That's right. Now, the other thing they mentioned at Honeycomb was the Tango Foxtrot. That's the HOTAS system, and did anyone get a price point on that, or did they give a price point on that? That would be like similar, like the T1600, right, from Thrustmaster with the throttle. I didn't get a price point on that, but that was the other thing. And then last but not least, I think Delt Gam was really excited about this, the Honeycomb Delta panels. Now, what was interesting about this, I couldn't use them. They were like dinking with, you could tell that these are like really early in production, because they were just like, they were fumbling with them. They were trying to get them up and trying to get them turned on, but I couldn't even like interact with them or anything like that. So I think they were just like getting them there to like show you the concept. I didn't see anything. Now, did anyone see, I should ask this though, because that's me, and maybe they didn't have them ready, but did anybody get to try those? Anyone in voice or chat? Throw it out there if you did.
Hey, Sam, I don't think they were early in production. I think they're early in prototype.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'd be surprised if they're out within 2 years.
Yeah. It seemed really early. Like, it almost seemed to me, and that's a good point, it almost seemed like they were like rushing to get them for that announcement, right? And so, so yeah, I would say you're probably right on, Brent, and that they'll probably be a few years out. Also, Flight Simmer says, I have a Secret Labs chair too, and switching to the next level racing chair. Nice. You'll have to let us know, Shane, on that. Proctor says, if Virpil made the Bravo, man, it would be awesome looking. Yeah, it would be. That's true. And so that was it.
400 pounds.
It weighed 400 pounds, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Do you think that those rudders had like a block of steel stuck in them, or was that all the weight of the mechanism?
That was the weight of the mechanism.
Totally.
Yeah, that thing was solid, like a rock.
There's cams that center it. There's 2 sets of cams that come with it, so you can either have them stiffer or looser. They had the light cams and the light spring in, I'm sure, because when you pushed them back, they would have a little bit of oscillation when they came back to center. So there's no detent on them. For myself, and the aircraft I like flying, I'm really into home built aircraft. And so most of them are like pulley and cable. So they've got much more natural feel for what I'm looking for as opposed to like the TPR. But no, and even, Sim said something about the Virpil sticks, and that I don't know about. But I did look at the Virpil, and it's actually in one of the videos Sim has, the Virpil base for the stick. And I'll tell you, it's second to none. The mechanism in there that I looked at and felt, it was friggin' awesome.
Yeah, I mean, very, very impressive stuff. And what I'm looking forward to, Brent, is when we do the live streams and you're flying using them and giving you what do you have right now for rudder pedals, though? By the way,
I've got the cheap ass ones out of the what are they? The
SciTech
Thrustmaster 16,000.
Oh, the Thrustmaster, yeah.
And
okay.
Again, that's got the heel saddles, which I don't like, and that's one reason why I went with the Virpils, and I did buy both the ones with the heel saddles and it's got the interchangeable lowers, so you can have the toe kicks on them, and
so you can put your heels on the floor.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I definitely clicked with what you said, SimFanatic, about the TPRs and being able to keep your feet down.
Yeah.
And slide on them. They're really comfortable.
They are.
I've thought of picking up a pair of Virpils too, just to have the whole ecosystem. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Stick, rudder, throttle, everything,
right? All
in their one software, because their software, while daunting, is you can do anything with it.
Totally agree. Yeah. I'll tell you what though. I mean, if they get the if Microsoft Flight Simulator gets the cyclic that working with all the mappings and the rotation on that to do the different modes, oh my god, that was an incredible piece of hardware. I mean, I think I'd be like, I'd get that. I mean, I spent you all can't see this, but I've got a Fanatec wheel, all machine, like heavy metal shifter units. And then the pedals and everything, they're all metal and everything. I never use it. So y'all know that I would buy something like that with a helicopter. That'd be so amazing to use during a flight. But you can see it back there, right there. I don't know if y'all saw. Well, Delt just dropped the battery pack and my phone. that's what happened right there. He dropped it like 20 Silver Killer. He dropped it like 2 or 3 times, right? I did all. I see. I'm kind of smiling right there because every time he did that, I knew he was like fumbling to get everything to go, and I was kind of laughing inside. But it's all good. He did a good job, and Silver, you did as well. But yeah, it was pretty amazing stuff there. And so to wrap up, though, the last section here I have, at least for tonight, is for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So that news on 2024, and I know I don't know if Awmeter's still here, but I know initially, I'm just going to take a moment to say I was actually I wasn't surprised because I got where people were coming from. But there was all this negativity when Microsoft announced 2024, and it was going to be a standalone flight simulator. And I mean, I got everybody's speculation, but they continually upgrade the simulator, and they were adding all these new things like career mode, advanced graphics, special effects, other things that I think were just I beg your pardon, but I think we're getting a little spoiled, and that because remember when it was like FS95 and 98 and 2000, 2002, 2004, we always had to pay $60 to buy it, but you really didn't get any major improvements with the simulator. You're pretty much stuck with the base code, base model, and you didn't get all the. I mean, it's basically been an organic thing where it's when we've gotten to. I mean, let's face it, it's 2020, right? So we got Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. It's going to be going on 4 years, and they continuously improved it. They give us world updates. They give us for essentially nothing. And and then so like I was just like, why are so many people getting mad? Like, okay, they're gonna have 2024 come out with advanced graphics, even better enhancements. They're maybe gonna charge $60-$90. Okay, that's fine. But when we're paying like $60, $70, $80 for one aircraft, let's put that in perspective. And not everybody can afford it. So I get it for those of you that are tight on cash. I totally get it. But I was like, I know they're going to keep 2020, or at least I suspected they'd keep Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 still available to those that are strapped with cash. I get it. And so, we don't all have money to just throw at this stuff. So, okay, and I said it from the beginning. I'm like, if Microsoft, and I think Microsoft would allow 2020 to continue for those that have paid 2020 and they don't want to pay for the next version, I was just like, okay, people, they're going to make this stuff backwards compatible. It's going to be, they would be shooting themselves in the foot if all of us have spent hundreds or thousands of dollars. Some of us have done that. And it's like, if they're just going to like switch over to 2024, then nobody's going to buy anything anymore. And the developers would be just ready to to lynch them, and as would a lot of us customers. And just like, everybody chill. In a day or two, we're gonna know for sure. I suspect they'll be backwards compatible. And Shane, if you're still here, you had put a video out the very next day saying about the backwards compatibility, and it's like, there you go. So I, for one, am excited about the fact that 2024 is going to be there. And says, yes, a little spoiled is a good word for it. Remember, you had to pay for the acceleration pack. Exactly. Good point. And so, it's one of those things. And the other thing, like, some of you already know this, but I was fortunate enough to be one of the alpha testers for Microsoft Flight Simulator when it originally came out. And I was like, look at this graphics. And it's still bound to the NDA of that. But so, I still can't say too much about it. But one of the things that I always was just, like, any time that there would be like something that wouldn't be quite right, but they're like pushing the boundaries of like, let's face it, friends, we haven't seen this ever in the history of flight simming. It's just amazing. It looks like how many of you looked at a video and been like, is that Flight Simulator or is that real? I can't tell you how many times I've done that.
Good point.
Many times.
Yeah. We're there at this point, and they're pushing the boundaries, and so we got to give them. I've always kind of been on the defense for them. It's like they roll out, a new update, and stuff breaks, and I get people's frustration. I get frustrated too. But if they're going to push the envelope and they're going to push the boundaries and keep innovating like that, we're going to have to go through some pain points. And it's just like, let's support them rather than bash them. And maybe that's my IT background, but it's just like they're working incredibly hard. They're doing great things for us. And I'm not getting on a soapbox with all of you. I'm just saying in general, because I think most of you would probably agree with me, and maybe some of you wouldn't. But I just think that it's one of those things where it's just like, keep pushing the envelope, keep innovating, keep moving us forward, because we're going to have stuff that is going to blow our mind. And I'm pretty excited about the AI stuff. I think it'll be pretty cool to be able to, like, can you imagine if you're actually able to talk to ATC and they're guiding you in to a final approach fix, for whatever runway you're coming into. And it's not an actual person, but it almost feels like it's an actual person. That's going to be pretty freaking amazing, I think, friends. I think that's going to be awesome.
Well, wouldn't you say that the big takeaway is that they went about releasing it wrong? They could have put a few little text in there and said, and alleviated everybody's fears and just, gone on.
You're absolutely right, Lotte. See that, to me, and this happens where I work, it's a difference between your marketing department and the developers, and so that's one of those communication things, because you're absolutely right. If they would have just and I had a feeling like someone would be like, no, you should have said this, upon release and that, but they were quick to respond. I think they responded in less than 24 hours that is going to have backwards compatibility and stuff like that. But you're absolutely right. That's one of those disconnects between departments, I think, but so true. And so there will be a community folder, backwards compatibility, as we said, smaller storage requirements and more optimized loading speeds. Holy crap, thank God, because I've got an M.2 drive, as many of you have. I've got the Samsung Evo 980, and I've got my simulator and all the add-ons on it, and I'm like, why is this taking so freaking long? But I don't think, it's not necessarily what I've been like digging into, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong here. But what it seems to be is like when you're loading the simulator, it's checking a lot of different things in terms of like weather and environment. Obviously, it's loading textures as it's loading. And so, but what Microsoft had talked about is they're going to make smaller footprint in terms of storage and be optimized for faster load speed. So I will have to say, if that holds true, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, Microsoft touted direct storage, and I wonder if we're going to get that maybe.
Yeah. Big Al says, showed a hot air balloon, all this dev stuff for it. Everyone going to do it one time, then go back to fixed wing, right? That's probably true practice, honestly. It's kind of cool, though, wasn't it? It was pretty neat. Yeah, you mentioned and that was the other thing on my list, balloons and lighter than air aircraft, right? And so they showed the balloons, and they were like talking about the thermal when you're heating the balloons up and they would expand. That was pretty cool.
I intend on using that a lot.
The balloons?
Yeah, because I really enjoy the scenery in Flight Sim.
Oh, yeah.
Low and slow.
I think it'll be really cool for all the like VR guys. Then, like, if you're in VR, the hot air balloon's gonna be like right up the alley.
For sure.
I got a cool thing to share. My mom, who is 81, had her PPL back in an Aranca, which is basically a Cub back in the 40s.
Oh, yeah.
She got one, and I put her up in the flight simulator the other night in a Cub because they don't have an Aranca, and she had a blast flying around in it.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, let's see. Can you hear this? Okay, can you all hear that music?
Not here.
Okay.
Switch over to YouTube.
Not here.
I missed my Bravo throttles. Can you hear me talking?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this works.
Whoever was talking about Aranca, was that an Aranca Champ?
It was.
Who let the dog? Cool. First plane I ever flew in was a Cessna 140. Second one was an Aranca Champ. Both were 46s.
Huh.
You flew them, didn't you, Sim?
Well, with I have flown. Well, isn't that what Uncle Bill had?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty incredible. And so next thing I want to bring up. Sorry, I got this. I was just trying to get that video set for when we conclude here. So I want to make sure that was going to come through. I didn't get a chance to test that earlier. So, but anyway, so seasons. How about seasons? Y'all looking forward to seasons in Microsoft Flight Simulator?
Oh yeah, that's needed.
Yeah.
It's
like how they said,
it'll bring it
we're up
back
against the wall with what we can do right now. We need to go over to this more stuff on the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, seasons. We pretty much already have seasons. It just depends on what part of the world we fly in at what given time.
Yeah, I mean, there's some of it, and I think it's the thing is it's going to be just more dynamic than it is now. But let's face it, you're absolutely right, because Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, as it is today, is I almost hesitate to say this, but it's X-Plane what seasons, right? So I mean, I know there's an add-on for X-Plane for seasons, but again, no haters on that X-Plane, because I think it has a more realistic flight model. I said that, so I'll plug that a little bit for X-Plane.
Yeah, how cool was it that that in areas they can't get good satellite data, they can like extrapolate with AI?
Right.
Isn't that incredible? Yeah, good.
Yeah,
point.
we used to have it. We used to have all those seasons in the old Sim, the FSX days, and before that. So it's really good to see them bringing it back. I just wish they'd work on that weather, open that up to other developers.
Right. And I got to get caught up on some chat here. Osfly Simmer says 17 minutes to load my sim at the moment. Large community, dude. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Okay, so I'm going to tell you something, Osfly Simmer. I take about 10 minutes. So that's good to hear, because I'm like, what the hell is taking so long? Is everybody else feeling? And then when my sim crashes during a live stream, oh, holy heck, that is brutal. So I'm glad to know that, Os. And then let's see here. We've got BA Fish been doing some preliminary design of cockpit that's set up on a centrifugal accelerator. Cockpit will be fully enclosed, so the monitors will be your only reference to the outside, looking at -3 to 4.56. Are you being serious, or are you shitting us, Brent? Brett must have passed out on Orange Whips. Okay, so we'll move on. Big Al's playing. Oh, there he is. There he is.
By the way, anybody want pictures?
Okay, I'm muting him now.
No. I'll give you the Underhill's number.
Man.
Oh, yeah, I'm serious. I started doing calculations the other day about setting up a simulator that actually will be fully enclosed, and it'll actually give you GeForces.
Nice.
Because I was thinking about the one I was telling you about before that would do the rolls and that. And it's like, yeah, okay, so you hang upside down, but you can't really, you feel
Right.
negative 1G, but so no, it's a project that's got at least 3 years.
Yeah. No, that's cool, though. That's super cool, dude. And then, Silver Color says, balloon racing for sure. Brett plays, I'm 5 minutes to load. DDR5 RAM helps. And have large community folder. Nice. I've got
anybody
DDR4.
do the canoe, some canoe trips? Those are kind of...
Oh, yeah. Oh, Ozflight Summer's responding to him, and your SpaceX PC helps. BA Fish said the previous post above regarding my real life simulator was meant for you. And then Oz says, I think they needed 3D trees to do seasons, and now they can. That's a good point. Shane, Brett Play says, I'll time mine now. So he's starting it up. Let's see. Oz says, Shane says, BA Fish, will you update progress shots when you start the project? So we'll look for that, Brent. Proctor says, takes me about 1 minute. New Samsung 990 sequential read-write speeds up to 7,450, 6,900 megabytes per second. Also DDR5. What the hell? 1 minute it loads? Come on, give me a break. No freaking way. And when you have, how big is your community
for real?
1 minute?
Possible.
It's super fast. So I just built a new PC with a 4090 and the new Ryzen 7 7800X 3D.
Yeah.
It's fast, dude. It's fast.
That's awesome. Could you post some pictures of that in our Discord server? We have a multimedia set. That'd be cool to see.
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
And you said you.
How big is your community folder or third party?
Pretty big. I got a lot of freaking planes in there.
You have all the world updates installed?
Yeah. That takes up a lot of freaking space.
That's
like,
pretty crazy.
It's like I'm not flying in Europe, so it's like I'm not gonna go low theirs. But all the US stuff, oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible. And you said you built it yourself?
Yeah, I do IT.
Yeah, me too, man. So I built my rig. I've got the Corsair and I've got the AMD Ryzen 7 5800. I've only got the 3070 Ti, but that's cool, man. Yeah, post those pictures. I'd be interested in those. And very good to know. 1 minute, my God. Shane, could you imagine loading it up in 1 minute? I might have to build a new computer. Give this one to my son. He needs it anyway. He's got the TCA Boeing coming from PC8.
Lucky.
Yeah. Q8. I said PC8. Jeez. Ozfly Summer says, hey Sam, you're reading all my comments tonight. Wonders never cease. LOL. I usually miss some. I'm learning, buddy. I'm just learning. It takes experience, right? I'm just learning from you. I'm learning from the best of the best, Shane. That's all it is, buddy. Wattfish, how you doing? Wattfish is in the house, friends. Say hi to Wattfish. It's good to see you, Wattfish. Thank you for joining the stream. It says, or good morning. We're just about wrapping up, but this has been a pretty good casual week. It's almost like a podcast tonight with the friends here. And we've obviously have all the SimFans and our moderators. We have Shane, Ozflight Simmer in the house. We have 3 developers. We have Hanger Studios. We had Fast Cow Productions, and of course, Awmeter was in here from Debrief. I would never even guess this is where we'd be right now with some of these legends out there, and just talking about FSExpo and the experience that we had there. And so welcome Wattfish to the stream. Angel 15 is in here. Angel 15's in IT too. Well, we could just start a company, should we not? start building some sim computers. That's incredible. Awesome, Angel. It's good to have fellow IT. I know there's a lot of brains in here and good stuff, but
okay, SimFanatic, one thing.
Yeah.
Just loaded up the sim with the stopwatch. I'm running 980s, 2 terabytes, and Intel 12-9 series.
Okay.
Just loaded up the sim for 2 minutes 37 seconds.
2 minutes 37 seconds. I will say that is a big win.
I have a gazillion.
And how big is your community folder? Check that for us, would you? Just let us know how big your community folder is, because that would be good information.
Yeah, I'd love to see the spec sheet on that thing.
BA Fish the Sim, this year you were a celeb. Next year you'll be a rock star. I don't know about that, man. Thanks, Brent. But it was. You know what? I just felt great being with all of you. I mean, that sounds kind of cheesy and stupid, but it was true. I mean, it was just like I was kind of you know what? The thing I always think of is like be humble. Be humble. That's just like Shane is. I mean, and you know, he's got far bigger channel and a very humble person and helpful. And that's the other thing. Just like be nice, be helpful, and and be supportive, and you know, everything else works out, and it's pretty cool. Let's see. Send this. You both are humble. Thanks, Wildfish. Yeah. I think that's what it's at. There's some out there that aren't so much, and you know, they still can be successful, but you know, each to their own, I guess. But that's the way we're going to approach it. The other thing I wanted to mention about Microsoft Flight Simulator is they updated the electrical, pneumatic, fuel, and hydraulic systems, as well as the dynamic wear and tear and failures. So that'll be interesting to see. You know, sometimes you kind of wonder, is this a marketing thing, or is this just a little bit of tweaking on some of the original code, which we all know it is. But nonetheless, you know, they gotta have some bullet points for selling a new product to people, and of course, that's normal. They also said that the 2024 sim will include more and wider avionics systems, as well as cockpit tablets by default. So they're built-in aircraft. So it sounds like they're going to, jeez, they're going to upgrade these. Threw me off there, Brent. So they're going to upgrade these products, the built-in aircraft and everything like that. One thing I want to remind you, what time is it? It might be too late for some of you. Oh my gosh, I meant to do this at the beginning of the stream. Have all of you got the Ford tri-motor aircraft?
Yep.
Yes.
Has anyone not gotten it and is still not midnight yet? If you haven't gotten it. Yeah, if you haven't gotten it.
Yeah, midnight's the cutoff for free.
Right. So if you haven't got it yet, definitely go grab it from the marketplace in Microsoft Flight Simulator. You don't want to miss out on that. Looks like a pretty... I haven't flown it yet. CSGO Weirdo's in here. Hey, I think I saw you before mentioning it. Welcome to the live stream. Have starting the bloody thing. Moss Flight Simmer says. I launched Flight Simulator with on the active, and the engines were already running. So Shane, I don't know, maybe that's the key, right? But it seems like a pretty solid aircraft. So don't forget to pick that up. And I'll just say this before we conclude here tonight. My heartfelt thank you to all of you. I mean, this has been incredible. I didn't think that this would be this many people in here. I honestly didn't. It's been an incredible live stream. We haven't done this before. We've always been flying. It's the first one that we've kind of just done a gathering, if you will, and just kind of a sit back, relax, and have a chat. And I think it's been, we might have to do another one of these sometime. And so I appreciate everybody joining in, all of you, my moderators, Silver Killer, Aviation Spotter in here earlier. Of course, Ace has dropped in for just a moment. He probably is camping right now. And Bunny was in here earlier. Didn't get to see Kyle. He's probably busy working, and didn't get to see Blando. But all of you, my SimFan family, regulars, newcomers, those that I just got to meet for the first time, and at FSExpo that I've known, and some of them that were new. I had people. I had Flight Sim Pro. We were waiting for our bus, and then Jeff Fabiano, as he's walking out, this is when we were at the what was the museum that we were talking about? Oh boy, what's happening? Wadfish donating $1. Thank you, Wadfish, for that $1 donate. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. Very kind of you, Wadfish. Thank you for joining tonight, and thank you so much for that $1 donate. I do appreciate it. Every dollar counts, and it's just showing your love and support of the channel. So thank you so much. But I see Jeff Fabiano coming out, and then behind him is Flight Sim Pro, and I see this guy looking. I wasn't sure who he was. He looked familiar, but I wasn't sure who he was. And he's like looking at me, and he's walking by, and then he kind of does a circle around. He comes up to me. He's like, SimFanatic. I'm like, yeah, man. He's like, Flight Sim Pro. And then we got our picture taken together, and so it was kind of a cool thing. So even it's great to see other people, and that's what I mean by that. Like, he just comes up, super nice guy, being supportive and of course being supportive of him, just like Oz Flight Simmer. I mean, Oz Flight Simmer, what are you up to? Like 87,000? You're like at 87,000 subs or 84,000, something like that. Just but yet he reached out to me, jumped over our channel and supports it. I know many of you came over from, like Big Al, and quite a few others that have been here because of us, and that just says a lot. And so it goes to 11, donating $2.11. Thanks, goes to 11. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. But I'm rambling like I normally do. I like to ramble.
Tim.
Go ahead.
Tim.
Yes, buddy.
Just rebooted my system and cold started and started Flight Simulator. 2 minutes, 39 seconds.
Nice.
And that's a 10-year-old system.
What?
10 years old. AMD 8350. On a Sabertooth motherboard, 16 gigs of 1866.
I've got 32
DDR3.
gigs. I got DDR4. There's got to be something going on.
And I've got the Evo 870.
Okay. I've got the 980.
I think you got it right, SimFanatic. It's about it cross-talking back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be something like that.
It shouldn't take that long.
Yeah, it does. It takes a long time. I think it does. And Shane said, I think it comes down to how much is in the community folder, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I've got
my official and my community are both about 500.
500 gig.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I get about 2.5 minutes.
I'll have to go back and check mine.
I've never checked the size of my community, but I have all the updates loaded, all the different countries, the world updates.
Oh, sure.
Even though I don't fly, I still loaded them in case we ever go there.
Are you using Windows 10 or 11?
10.
Okay. So yeah, I just want to say thank you all for joining. We got a little special treat here. I don't know if any of you have seen this, but let me see if I can get it on screen here really quick, and let me turn off the tunes because we'll watch this a couple times. So this is what we had to finish up with at Flight Sim Expo. And again, I want to thank all of you for joining tonight, and appreciate it so much. Oz, thank you so much for your support. Thank you, SimFans, for all your support. Thank you goes to 11 for your tips. Wattfish for your tips. Richard Clark, Oz Flight Simmer. Did I miss your tip? Well, I don't think I did. But anyone else I might have missed, please let me know. I apologize, but again, thank you so much for your support. And I know not everybody can tip, and that's perfectly fine. Just you being here, engaging us, being part of the community is what it's all about.
Hey, hey, you there?
Yep.
Who?
Hello?
I want to try and get Sim to commit to going into a Discord tonight for Debrief.
I am in a Discord for Debrief. We're doing it right now.
Go pull your eyeballs out and get swallowed up by the couch.
I could probably do that for a few minutes for sure, Brett.
And there's one other thing you promised. There's one other thing you promised, Sim. Next year, if you come to Flight Sim with us, they will see you without your glasses on.
Oh yeah. So, but some of you did. Those that came along. I think some of you saw my glasses. Yes, I know. Silver, you saw me without my glasses on.
Yes, sir.
You and Mrs. Silver Killer saw me without my glasses on. I think Old Golfer saw me without my glasses on. A few, not everybody though. I don't think Delt saw or Harry.
Tim, is it okay to mention the chair video?
Oh yeah, for sure, of course.
No, I mean you don't have your glasses on the.
Yeah. See,
the chair video.
Hey, you know what? I thought about that before low tech. I thought about actually taking it off because like several. Hey, you know what?
I was going to say SimFanatic right now is scrambling to delete that.
No, Harry had mentioned it before because like somebody was asking me about taking my shades off, and Harry's like, just go back to a earlier stream and you'll see him without his shades on. You know, earlier video. And Oz Flight Simmer Shane, thank you, legend, for dropping in the $10 dono. Some orange whips and blue skies for Shane joining us tonight, friends. Please put them in chat. Thank you so much, Shane. Do appreciate you joining. I know it was family time, so please tell Mrs. Off Flight Simmer because she knows I have a good Australian accent, mate. That didn't sound anything like it.
Is that what that was?
No, it was a half orange whipped in the bag. The SimFanatic trying to do a Australian accent is what that was, but no, Shane, thank you for joining and for all your support, truly, and that $10 dono. Thanks so much, my friend. And oh Lord God. See, I kind of do that for them. I try to butcher. Actually, I don't try to butcher. I try to do as best I can. I just butcher it. That's the truth. But let's see if this. Let me see if I can get this going here.
Hey Sam.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing this community together.
Absolutely.
A bunch of great people, and love y'all.
Love you too, man. Love you too.
Love you too, man.
Yeah, it's a great community.
You
Thank
too,
you,
brother.
Brent.
Nothing but love for you.
Yeah. Now, for some reason, can I get this? Oh, come on. Oh, I
Better
know.
get an IT guy to help you.
Ha 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 ha. Let's see.
Sam,
Yeah.
did you say that you loaded the tri-motor and the engines were already running? Did you load on the runway?
I did. Yeah, I did on the active.
Oh, okay, because I know everybody's saying there's a special process for getting that bad boy started.
Sure is. I
Yeah.
can't figure it out.
Well,
I got a file that gives you step by step. It's from Microsoft. There's about a dozen different planes in there. It gives you photographs of the planes, photographs of all the controls, and step by step procedures for starting, flying, everything. They're full manuals for about a dozen different planes in Flight Simulator from Microsoft. And I got the tri-motor manual. And I got a whole section on getting started and how to actually start those engines. And it's a process.
sounds like it. But yeah, I Chipper, yeah, I just loaded up on the active and took off. So I have to go through it. And like, I noticed House Flight Simmer said something about like having to start that up. So having sound issues like Microsoft. All right. So
yeah, if you want, I can post a link for that site. It's Microsoft. And like I said, they got about a dozen different planes, but they include the tri-motor.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds good.
Full documentation.
Oz Flight Simmer says, gotta run. Take care, everyone. Oz Flight Simmer, you're gonna miss the video. Did you see this one, Oz? You had to have seen this. Hopefully you've seen this. All right, so let's go ahead and play this. So thank you, friends. And so this was at the end, pretty much the end
Sam,
of...
you better go through the lineup there as your. You better give credit to the people in the line there.
Yeah, so on the left, we have Silver Killer on the far left. Second in from him is ISU Fan for Life, or Harry. And then the third one from the left is Pilot Rick. The most entertaining in the middle is my brother Brent. You got to keep an eye on him because he does a little hair fling. Then I'm next to him, of course, to his left. And then to my left is my son, T. And then to his left is Old Golfer 67. And last but certainly not least, on the far right, to the left of Old Golfer, is Delcam 88.
And what did Old Golfer say?
Oh, God, it was so funny. So, like, we're going down, and so, of course, you can't hear any of the audio that was actually in this, right? I did do the raw for the members only, so those of you that have members only, you can get the raw one of this. But you might be, I don't know if you can pick it up, Brent, but the Old Golfer's like, this is the stupidest thing ever, or something like that as we're going down. But here we go. We're going to go ahead and play this, and we'll let it run a couple times. It's like less than 15 seconds, I think. So here we go. I love that Rex like doing the kind of like the no. That kicks my ass every time. Like I'm watching this, and then Brent, you doing the little hair flag. Big Al's laughing. Oh, that was epic. So like next year, 2024, friends, we will definitely have to be doing. We'll definitely have to be doing that again. With I think we said we want to have at least 20. Maybe we can get 20 together. But there's a little treat for you, friends. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to all of you that are in the voice channel. If you want to say good night, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to. But if you want to say something before concluding, I'll close this out after you're all done. But I'm going to turn it over to all of you because you are what makes this channel happen. Go ahead.
Well, hey, Sim, real quick before this ends, FSExpo, there's a channel on Discord. Maybe we can call it FSExpo 24, and maybe have you guys post ideas. Perhaps whoever who wants to come or who would want to go to Fight Expo 24. I just want to say thank you all. This was an amazing time we all spent together sharing the experiences from the expo, and what a great bunch of people here. Love you all, and blue skies.
Blue skies, buddy. Thank you.
Blue skies.
You know, I'd like to have a special shout out to Silver. He really brought it through with the shirts. It was amazing. And brother, I love you.
Thank you, man.
For putting it together. You've done a terrific job. Keep
Thanks,
up
bro.
being the face between all those fat bellies behind you. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys, and I enjoy talking to every one of you. But with that said, you better fucking make it in Discord and not let the couch eat you tonight.
I'll make it. I'm not that bad.
Blue skies, everyone.
Blue skies, Brad. Thank you. Love you, brother.
Blue skies.
Yeah, I just want to say I had a great time at Flight Sim Expo, saying that it's my first one, but just want to thank all you guys for, welcoming me into the whole group and everything. And, it's just been really a blast. I really look forward to next year and really want to, Silver with these shirts, man. We like we talked about at dinner, we might do the whole suits. Get some full suits, some SimFanatic suits.
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
They're gonna be all sparkly or something. I don't know, man.
That's awesome.
my God.
That's awesome.
Fanatic zoot suit.
There you go. That's awesome.
We can be a bunch of Sim vibes, kind of like L vibes.
Right.
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to next year, though, man. And wherever it may be, we'll definitely have a good time.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Pilot Rick. And you know what? The thing is, and I think we talked to you mentioned this Silver Killer, but Pilot, it's just like, yeah, feel the love. I love it, man. And like when I say like, welcome to the group, because we just have such a good group, and everybody cares about one another, has fun with one another, and like this is really more than simming, right? I mean, it's like it's lifelong friendships, I mean, like coming out of this thing, and it's just like that's actually the beautiful thing of this whole thing more than any of the simming. So thank you, Pilot Rick. That's cool. It was great to meet you in person. I look forward to seeing you again at 2024, man.
Definitely. Blue skies.
Blue skies.
Oh, and Sim, we were talking the other night, and if we do happen to be going to San Diego, it's like 6 hours from Silver's house. He invited everybody to stay there.
So he's the host, man. Silver Killer.
Do you see some of that shit he cooks?
Oh yeah,
man, we're gonna eat good.
Oh my God.
Hey, he is eating good. I seen that. That looked really good, man.
He's got amazing.
Back up the grill.
Amazing. Yeah, Silver Killer.
You guys are all invited to come in. We'll cook for you guys.
and you mean it. Hey, Silver Killer, I know now why you're Silver Killer. You're talking about, but you were talking about without my glasses, but I mean, you've got the dark eyebrows, but then you pull your hat off and it is Silver Motherfuddin' Killer. It's awesome.
That's right.
That's great, man. It's great. And but no, so that's so true. And so yeah, but Pilot Rick, yeah, thank you for those words. That was great. Anyone else?
Oh, anybody interested? Those manuals, I posted the link in the chat for right here for the voice. I don't know if it's posted anywhere else on the Discord site, but it's really well done. Like I said, I'm looking at the one manual for the tri-motor. It looked like something that was printed right out of the late 40s, early 50s. It's got checklists and everything in there.
Awesome.
And like I said, it's about a dozen different manuals they have for different planes in the flight simulator. They got for the jets, they got for the small planes.
Nice.
And they're very detailed. Some are 30, 40 pages. I think one had 70 pages. I forget which plane it was.
Wow.
The link is there. It's Aircraft Manuals, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it's from Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Where'd you post those at, Chipper?
They're
right here in the flight simming, voice.
Okay, I'm looking for them.
I'm looking at them right now.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the very bottom.
Hey, Sim, can I get this on record?
What?
As a fellow percussionist, drummer like you.
Oh yeah.
I'm the official cowbell player of the SimFanatic band. All right, seriously.
Okay, you've got it, buddy. You've got it.
Need more cowbell.
Need more cowbell. That is awesome, man. Yes, you've got it. You officially, you get to play the cowbell.
Always need more cowbell.
You always need more cowbell. Well, so yeah, again, friends, thank you so much. Blue skies to all of you. We've got, again, in our chat here, Brent, love you, brother. Big Steve, Chipper Sneeze, thank you for that link. Don, love you. Hanger Studios developer, and check out the Cam Air 480. It is, there's a lot of Easter eggs, and he keeps improving it. It's a great product.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Low Tech, great to have you here. I learned something new every stream. Of course, I did not. I mean, if you told me that before, I forgot it. But you came here, you found me because of a review I did on the chair here, and unbelievable. I just, it's like, it's one of those things that was like, when I was just starting, like, what can I do to add stuff that will help people? Oh, this pissed me off. I got this chair that's expensive and it wobbles, and I'm like, I'll just do a video on that, and here Low Tech is with us. I mean, you never know. But
well, thank you for that, man. Love you, brother.
Yeah, I love you too, man. I'm glad I helped you out. And Model Railroad fan, when did you drop in here? Dave, good to see you. Dave was there at Flight Sim Expo.
I've been here for a while.
Have you? Oh,
yeah. I wanted to tell you something.
Yeah.
When you look at the film, when you go in the Microsoft store and you look at the tri-motor, the first time I saw it, the first thing came to my mind was the movie Cars. Because if you look at it, those two black spots in the windshield look like eyes staring at you.
I have to check that out.
Yeah.
That's right, man.
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, I've been in it for a while. I've been listening to you.
Okay,
So,
I've got my screen over top of the Discord voice, so I finally switched back over to it, so I'm actually seeing everybody that's in here. But yeah, glad you joined us, Dave, and it was good meeting you in person during the Flight Sim
I could have
Expo.
stayed longer, but my hip and everything is.
Oh.
In fact, when I got home that Saturday night, I laid down, slept, got up the next morning, still hurt, laid down again, and got up again, and it was fine. All I had to do is try to walk outside, and it started hurting again. So
Wow.
I wish I could have stayed because I did miss a lot. But I did get to talk to everybody I wanted to talk to. But I'm still having trouble with Navigraph because it does one thing and then it shows something else. So, but other than that, I had a good time meeting everybody. And then I found out me and Harry have two things in common.
Oh yeah?
He's diabetic, I'm diabetic, and we both have bad left eyes.
Really?
Yep.
So that's a symptom of being a diabetic, probably, maybe?
Yep.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, Model Railroad, when Harry picked out the Easter egg that Sim put in his thing, I was going to tell him good eye, but I felt that might offend him, so I didn't.
No, I didn't even notice until he told me about it. And I said, well, looks like me and you are in the same boat. He
Interesting.
Said, yep.
Interesting.
So, well, I was nice. It was glad to meet you and Harry and Silva. And I told Silva he shouldn't feel bad because when I graduated from high school, a friend of mine graduated. He had a total head of silver hair at 17.
It looks good. It looks good.
Silver.
Yeah.
So, there's no problem.
I think it looks good. I think it looks good. Actually, I didn't tell you that.
Sim's on his way to it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on my way.
A lot further along, but mine's just blonde.
Oh my God!
Well, that's the other thing, Sim.
Yeah, buddy.
Told your brother Brett, you and him should write a book.
Oh yeah.
Comedy of Errors.
Yep.
That'd be
That
good.
means we'd have to change the name for that guilty.
Right. Right. But yeah, it's great to have you there, Dave, and thanks for joining tonight. Do appreciate you joining us.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't miss it. I wouldn't miss it. In fact, I just finished flying off doing a flight I'm doing. So
Nice. What'd you do for a flight?
Making a kind of a roundabout right. I went from New Orleans to Falls River to Monroe, Louisiana, to Springfield Branson Airport. Tomorrow I go to St. Louis, then to Memphis, Jackson, Mississippi, and back to New Orleans.
Well, I think you need to add a few more points there, Dave, just because you don't have enough yet.
I'm working towards about 600 hours. So.
Oh, nice.
But the other thing I want to tell you is the only problem I ever had with the yoke from Honeycomb is when you push your mixture all the way forward and you push the throttles all the way forward, trying to get to the switches that are behind them.
Oh yeah. That's true.
That's the only problem I've ever had. It's just trying to get to those switches.
They got everything so compacted.
Yeah. But I wouldn't change them for the world.
No.
That and my TPR rudder pedals, wouldn't get rid of them for nothing.
No, they're awesome.
So.
They're awesome. Well, thank you, Model Railroad fan, and anyone else?
Hey, Sam, one more thing, and that's it, and I'll let you go.
No, you're fine, buddy.
I know you're a drummer, brother, but you're a true rock star, and thank you for everything you do.
Thanks,
and you kick some major butt at the expo, and people are going to be talking about it for a long time. And I expect more of us, obviously, to show up next year, and that'll be even more epic. Brother, have a great time on Savannah.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Enjoy, have fun. Don't worry about us. We'll make our own flights on community flights.
Hey.
And hey, say hi to the family and blue skies, brother.
We'll do that. And Silver, thank you so much. Blue skies to you, and that's so nice of you. I'm no rock star, but you all make me feel like one. So thank you. I'll definitely I'll be posting some stuff from Savannah. I'll try to do my best. But that reminded me, Silver, and so thank you. So Oz Flight Simmer said, while I'm away, you all are more than welcome to join him on his flights, and so watch for him. I know he's got his times posted on underneath the description there. He does fly at different times because he's 15 hours ahead of us, so it sometimes gets difficult. But he welcomes all of you to go fly with him in my stead, and then of course. Please come back to me when I get back. But nonetheless, he's a great guy. And I said, thank you, Shane, for mentioning that, because I definitely will relay that. And I thought that was really cool of him to say, because that just shows the community, right? And just helping each other out. I don't think sometimes I wonder, like, some of the influencers feel competitive. It's like, why feel competitive? Just like support each other. And if you give it heart, you'll be successful. And my formula of success is all of you. I knew that would be the case from the very beginning. So thank you all, and Silver, all of you, for being here tonight. And I'll conclude this with another couple rolls. Keep an eye on Brent of the here goes to 11. Thanks goes to 11, donated $2.11. Thank you so much, Blue Skies. And we'll close it out with Who Let the Dogs Out. Thank you all, SimFans. Stay safe. And I will, again, no live streams next week. So no live stream tomorrow night and next week, but I'm going to try to get stuff posted for all of you. I might even do some editing and some clips while I'm sitting on the beach drinking Mai Tais at Savannah. But until then, and I'll miss all of you, but I'll keep in touch within the community, within Discord, within community and YouTube, and then I'll post some things, maybe even some pictures on the beach. Nothing
definitely
that is too risque. Okay, I promise that. But
yeah, enjoy it there, Sim.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Blue skies, everyone.
Blue skies. Good
Blue
night.
skies, guys.
Blue skies.
Blue skies.
Good night,
Good night,
everybody.
all. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Night.
Bye.
And then to all of you, thanks again for joining, and I appreciate it. This has been a very successful time. It's 46, and I'm just going to do one of these really quick because even though we didn't quite hit 50, we're 4 away. It's all worth it. Orange West friends, thank you for joining tonight. This has been epic. This has been an epic stream, at least for me. I don't know about for you, but for me, it's been epic. Who needs an orange whip? It's 8 p.m. somewhere. Friends, thanks. Friends, take care. Don't miss out on this. It's coming. It's coming. I'll see you soon. Good night.